Ladies and gentlemen, before we present to you the IMF's latest show this Saturday, Rage in the Cage, join me to induct the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. In many ways, our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame is figuratively and literally the foundation for the IMF. That's right, the Iowa Midwest Wrestling Federation Company. Obviously, they're getting ready for a huge show coming up. They've transitioned from once upon a time a backyard wrestling company to now a live, functioning, independent wrestling company that has put on sellout after sellout after sellout. And really, our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame has kind of been that glue. He's kind of been that veteran calming presence that the IMF has been able to use to transition themselves from a company once upon a time that had to get attention by calling out Craven Rage to now figuratively and literally be the rage of the wrestling world that would even put Rage Against the Machine to their knees. But when I think about our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and our second member of our eighth class and our 72nd member, I can assure you I'm not going to roast him like Tom Brady was on Netflix earlier this week, but I'm actually going to talk about his career. His career in the ring that has actually not been talked about enough here on this platform, because when you think about his career, it's a journey that's taken him to places like in Puerto Rico. It's taken him to places up and down the Midwest and even to Japan, and even wrestling guys like I don't know, James Ellsworth. He only defeated some guy you probably heard of, AJ Styles, not once but twice, and has kind of been a fixture and presence in the independent wrestling scene for decades. Levi McDaniel has certainly done it all. He's even done it all to the fact where he actually used his own body to allow people to tattoo himself, but for a good cause, to actually help those out there who need it most. And I think that's, ladies and gentlemen, where Levi McDaniel very well makes his mark. Because sure, he's taken a lot of marks and his back is full of plenty of marks and he's got plenty of scars to prove his decades-long career in the wrestling world. But he was here to make a difference and to use his post to help the lives of others. And that's what it's about. Time and time again, I come on to Sportswire Radio, and we have wrestlers come on and talk about these, how can I put it in a nice way, imaginary championships, or they talk about these promotions that they have, quote unquote, and there might be only a handful of members, and some might wrestle on seventh grade like mats and might call themselves hardcore, but really they might want to try even doing parkour. Even parkour wouldn't work for them, and maybe they want to stay on the Fisher Price training wheels. But the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, Levi McDaniel has gone out there and set a path that has not only made his career better, but he's making wrestlers around him better. When I think about the growth of the likes of Omen Black, it is his show after all, the boogeyman of the Midwest and the hardcore god, Soldier GP, is he still the popular heel monster these days? For what I know, he is still the IMF champion of the world, and Dirty Donnie and Jason Myers and Freddie Daniels, Jordan Nets, Felix Jones, Dirty Donnie, as I stated, maybe even Remington Stryker, Prince of Chi, I could mention him, Mephisto, Ace Diamond, recent invites, Isaiah Rage. The point is, all of those wrestlers benefit from the expertise, the experience, and the leadership from Levi McDaniel. In addition to being a very successful and very decorated, well-traveled, and well-respected wrestler, has also had his own promotion, Levi McDaniel Fight Promotions, which thousands upon thousands of people view on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. And he's also has his own website. You can go find out more information here on the links below. And he has went out and created his own path. In fact, he is the definition of a free spirit, a freelance entrepreneur. I always believe in those that go out and create their own path, because that's what Sportswire Radio and what I've done here for 5.5 years is having my own vision, giving people from all walks of life, whether it's in the wrestling world, college basketball, where I cut my teeth in, and other forms of sports, the opportunity to be able to create their own path and blaze their own trail. And Levi McDaniel has done that. And he's certainly done that as the Belfast Bulldog. Look at the tattoos the man has had. Look at those eyes, by the way. I know Ace Diamond might call himself the eyes of professional wrestling, but those eyes there definitely remind me of an AC/DC song or two. I might forget the lyrics, but I'm never going to forget Levi McDaniel on this platform. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people that say different things. There's a lot of people that can say and compare and contrast. But Levi McDaniel is one of those people that has not only walked the walk, he has talked the talk. He has done that, and he's doing that in really his greatest role in being a mentor and a leader. He is the general manager of a company, the IMF, which is, again, had thousands of subscribers, thousands of followers, thousands of people have attended their shows in the past 9 months or so since they've become a live venue company. And that's his greatest gift. I truly believe in life, in the world of wrestling or anything, it's not so much about your wins and losses, your championships. Sure, guys come on here and tell me how many championships they've won, and sure, it's impressive. But the fact is that Levi McDaniel is giving back his knowledge to be passed upon other wrestlers that if they didn't have Levi McDaniel, and his decades of expertise, not to say they would be like wrestlers that might call themselves a big bad silver wolf, but might want to take a big bad number two, or, even a guy like Skulls, who's a Hall of Famer, but might want to get maybe, I don't know, a thick kick in the skulls to say, slow down, buddy. Go out there, and you might want to go out there and learn to do some other things. Tyler Ark, the Man-O machinist, the only thing he might be a machinist for is maybe in his dreams, what if they exist. But the point is, there are other people I could mention, but the IMF is not going to be ever mentioned in those categories, but more in some of the premier independent wrestling companies, cutting edge. In many ways, the IMF is the personality of Levi McDaniel. Levi McDaniel, yes, I know he's looking at me like, boy, get this speech over with. But the point is, Levi McDaniel is kind of almost what everything should be in a wrestling ring. He provides you some humor. He provides you some, I don't know, entertainment, maybe some women. Maybe he provides you some hardcore wrestling. Yes, take note. This is somebody that's right up there with the likes of Jimmy Controversy, Mikey Anarchy, Hardcore, Obey, Mac 10, and even you, Atomic Titan, might want to pay attention to Levi McDaniel, what he brings to the table, because I know Omen Black is definitely doing that. And that's a shoot, ladies and gentlemen. But the point is, Levi McDaniel, this is why he is going to be not only remembered as a Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer, he's going to be remembered long after his career is over because he gave his knowledge, his information. We really talk about the word all wrestling matters. We talk about giving everybody a platform, giving everybody an opportunity. And I will get to the point. I'll induct you, give you the long intro. But the point is that today should have happened months ago with Levi McDaniel. With all due respect to some other Hall of Famers that probably might need more seasoning than somebody's chicken cutlets or some pork chops out there in the wrestling ring, the facts are is that Levi McDaniel, for years upon years and nearly decades, with his career, has long been a Hall of Famer. Today is long overdue. Levi McDaniel is somebody that has made the wrestling world, inside and outside of it, a better place. And he's made it a more livelier place. And that's why we get a chance each and every week to talk about all the great things the IMF does. Each and every month, we get to talk about their live shows. And it's really because this man took a chance on two guys, in Omen Black and Soldier GP, who were calling out the likes of, yes, Sean Jovi before he became a foundation member, and Craven Rage. Is there such a thing still? Is he? I don't think he's named after this show, right? Can somebody let me know on that? But the point is that Levi McDaniel has taken guys that might have actually been on the training wheels, like the likes of, I don't know, again, some guy that's name's BBS, not BBC, like Craven Rage for whatever reason mentions, or, some guy you might want to call starts with a TA, not to be confused with Magnum TA, or some guy that's a drip king, but he might be dripping, all full of sweat and water, considering what he brings in the ring and outside the ring. And some other people that might be a part of their company. Is there a guy that's still bulletproof, but he might not be bulletproof? He might actually be, certainly, I don't know, maybe full of bullets because he's actually lacking bullets when it comes to his ring skills or that sort of thing. Maybe a guy that his initials were LC that was once upon a time in this company, the IMF, but we're going to certainly wipe that up. We're going to wipe his records out of the record books. What they should have did maybe for some of the guys in Major League Baseball who had all those home runs and still have an asterisk next to. Maybe that guy is going to have his records wiped off, and maybe he's an asterisk when it comes to the wrestling world. But the point is, Levi McDaniel took guys like Omen Black, Soldier GP, and others, and has put them to where they can be today. And I could go on and on and on about Levi McDaniel. He might want me to go on and on about. Actually, he probably doesn't, because I could see him looking at me right now. He's like, Tom, get to the point. You talked about me being this great independent wrestler who's traveled to Japan, who's wrestled against James Ellsworth, who's wrestled against a who's who of tag teams up and down the most. He even wrestled some guy named Nassif that Soldier GP is having problems. But the point is that Levi McDaniel, I could not think of a better person to be tonight to kick off a great show here coming up for the IMF's Rage in the Cage, to be inducted as our second member of our 8th class in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And it's a good time because the most recent member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame is a guy, Copper Dragon, who was our backyard wrestling ambassador, our Dave Meltzer. And in many ways, Levi McDaniel is kind of giving us the Midas touch, and he's putting us back on track here. He's giving us that almost good endorsement that everybody needs once in a while to be able to get to where they want to be and to achieve their dreams, and the IMF is doing that. But as I've stated, Levi McDaniel, I know you've actually never officially got one of these, despite being on this platform so many times over the past 9 or 10 months. I now want to officially, before I induct you as our second person in our 8th member. I'm so tongue twisted because how many people were in this Hall of Fame, but not to take a shot at anybody, but there'll be somebody here that actually works in a promotion that's actually said that about this Hall of Fame, but he had no problem being in the Hall of Fame. But I'm going to leave that for when that individual comes on here, I'm sure, for the promotion he works for. But Levi McDaniel, I'm going to officially now induct you as our second member of our 8th class in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and our 72nd member. But before I do that, I have to give you that introduction that everybody else has gotten, especially the likes of, Dirty Donnie. He's only a part of the IMF. How about Freddie Daniels? He's in the Hall of Fame from the House of Wolves. Soldier GP, and of course, Omen Black. It is his show after all, and I have to give you that introduction that those individuals from the IMF have gotten, maybe even some of your foundation brothers like Sean Jovi, and of course, the IMF Tag Team Champions, Dark Kron and Matthew Forsaken were all Forsaken, and even Jason Storm. I guess maybe Jason Storm counts technically because he's in the foundation. Is he in the foundation? I'm still confused about that. But it's time to give you that introduction to officially put your place into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And let's get this show on the road because we're in prime time and we're Thursday night and Soldiers in the back saying, let's get the show on the road. We're going to do that here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in introducing our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the man behind the Levi McDaniel Fight Promotions. He is also the IMF General Manager. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show, the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, the general manager for the IMF. Simply put, he is the best. Dog Levi Congratulations, my friend. You're the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame.
Tom, thank you for such a pleasant introduction. Everything you said, man, really appreciate it. Appreciate you, guys like you doing what you do, man. That's what it's all about. Sportswire Radio. I am fucking F. Here we go, man. I told these guys, man, I I love wrestling. I'll help out whoever, but for me to be all in, I really got to see something, and I really do. When I met these guys at the IMF, man, I love these guys. These guys are my brothers, man. I'm here to help. Anything I can do to help these guys out in any way, you know, whoever needs it, I'm here, man. I'm trying to do my best from what I can do, But any advice, whatever I can do, man. Like you said, you could talk about all the stuff I've done in wrestling. That's all cool, man. But I'm the way I live in my philosophy. I'm here in the present, man. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking about the future, as we all do. I'm in the present, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving IMF right now, and I've never seen a group, past door shows now. We've made that transition from the yard. I mean, credit, everybody knows it takes a team, man. This is all a team effort. Everyone remember, if this is going to keep growing, we need to work as a team. You can't get a big head too quick because you go from the yard to indoors. That ain't really what matters. It's a building and it's a yard. It's all the same in spirit and the heart with what you're doing. So don't get it going right now. But there's a lot of for improvement, and it's all positive, man. I don't have anything negative to say because we're doing it right now. And this weekend coming up, for those who don't know, you've already pretty much talked like 9 big matches plus the pre-show. If you haven't been to an IMF show already, come check it out. Give us a try. If you guys that came out and supported the one we did in Cedar Rapids, I need you to come out to Palo. I mean, come on, Palo, Iowa, small town. I've been wrestling in all the big town. We're the biggest thing going in that town.
And I think we lost Mr. McDaniel. We hope to bring it. There you go. We lost you.
Sorry.
Yeah, we lost you there a little bit. Yep.
I'm just saying we got a good thing going there in Palo. The fans, they're going to come. We just got to keep plugging away at it. And yeah, man, be here, man. Appreciate the induction, the introduction, the induction, everything. Have a good time.
Absolutely. I'm having a good time with you. I know a slew of guys are here. And I also, before I do anything, want to wish a very happy birthday to another general manager who is also on our Hall of Fame. You'll be our second general manager in the Hall of Fame from the great state of Alabama, the Alliance Wrestling League, a similar company to you guys where they have transitioned, kind of being an underground indie company like you guys. My buddy Hillbilly Tilly, he has a birthday today. I want to wish Hillbilly Tilly a very happy birthday. Hillbilly Tilly, like you, is a long-time veteran. He's been a veteran of this sport. He's helped a lot of guys out there in the yard. He's using his skills and his expertise into the yard and helping guys in the AWL transition. And obviously, I want to give him a very, very happy birthday. Thank him for all of his friendship. He's from, again, the great state of Alabama. He loves all the shows like you on Sports. I always see him in the comments like you, and I want to make sure I wish him a very happy birthday. We actually have some AWL coverage coming up here in the next couple of weeks with some guys like Seth Maverick and Cole Batter coming on here very soon. So I just want to say happy birthday, Hillbilly Tilly. I hope you're all coming up this year, and thank you for all that you do, my friend. Hope you have a great day. And, Levi, I know so many people from the show are going to come on here shortly, but I want to give you something that kind of officially recognizes you into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Only a few instances. I know you're obviously a man that is well-traveled, had a lot of success. You've done so much. You're giving, all of your expertise and knowledge to so many great people in the IMF, but I'd like to present to you something that officially recognizes you in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Only if you insist.
I insist.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much,
Let's
sir,
see
because I
it.
want to give it to you. Yes, because you are officially now the 72nd member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And you have the certificate here on the screen. You have my John Hancock, today's date, our logo, and your name, and just, everything officially crystallizing you into the Hall of Fame. And I just can't thank you enough for all that, you've done for this sport. And, that's really what it's about here. I have been trying to really recognize, despite we had a slight detour, here and there on this platform, with obviously people that should probably stay away from the ring. But the point is that I have been trying really to recognize the people that have, like yourself, gone out there in the independents, some in the pros, obviously in the underground, who've gone out there and have made a difference. You have made a difference for our community. And that's why you're in the Hall of Fame. And I just want to say that I apologize to you, actually, because I should have put you in the Hall of Fame months ago, because there are people in this Hall of Fame that either A, didn't seem to appreciate it, and B, that are in this Hall of Fame really because they wanted a kindergarten class participation trophy when they really should go back and maybe, I don't know, should stay on the Fisher-Price training wheels, continue to wank off in their mom's basement, continue to stay as far away from the wrestling business, to stay as far away possible from the wrestling sport, but yet they are in this Hall of Fame, and really, that's on me for that, but we try to make everybody happy. But the point is I want to apologize to you, sir, because you really should have been in this Hall of Fame months ago. As a matter of fact, you should certainly be recognized in this Hall of Fame with the likes of some well-traveled people like Dean Allmark, who competed in TNA. You've obviously competed in Japan. The natural-born fighter R.P. Davis, who is the only person from Britain to be a major boxing world champion, wrestling world champion. James Barris from CCW, Colory Championship Wrestling, as I call them, Colory Community Wrestling. Jam Dog, who's obviously been a massive player out there. He's the CCW World Underground Champion. The likes of Bentley, the vigilante of pro wrestling, the current Bolton Town and Kingdom of Wrestling World Champion. So many other people that have cut their teeth. You should have been there recognized with them, and this should have been done sooner. So I just want to say I'm happy to have you in the Hall of Fame, but I should have did it a lot sooner, because a man with your resume, what you're doing inside this ring and outside this ring, should certainly be recognized in this Hall of Fame with the likes of some of the people that have certainly had well-traveled careers. And I just want to say that, but also I still say congratulations, but really most importantly, thank you for all that you've done for this sport over the past decade.
Well, I appreciate it, man. There's no reason to apologize. No better time than now. So we're in the present. We're rocking and rolling, man. I'm having a good time. It's been a pleasure watching Sportswire over the past, 9 months or so. I've seen your stuff before then, but I've just started tuning in regularly, man. Once I saw these IMF guys getting aboard, I have to check out what's going on. I got my hands in a lot of stuff in wrestling. So when I came into IMF, part of my homework was just watching Sportswire. I wanted to see how these guys act and how they talk, and there's just a lot more to it than what meets the eye. But I'm definitely doing my homework on everybody. And you've been a big help with that, Tom. So thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's actually very kind of you to say. Let me get to some comments before I get a couple thoughts from you to set the tables for the show on Saturday and start bringing on some individuals that are going to be a part of this great show. Let me say hello to a bunch of people. Obviously, yes, I guess somebody on your behalf said it's going to be a banger, and he's not talking about the lady on the screen, but obviously that was an inside joke, yeah.
Well, it's that's one of my secretaries. I have an associate's what I call her. I don't call her secretary anymore. I guess that's kind of demeaning for all the work she does for me. But
yeah, it's 2024.
Because I've got the associate running the YouTube page, and we got some chicks wrestling, all that crap on there. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But thanks for going ahead and showing that there.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a banger tonight, and I think it has been so far.
I try to show everybody, and we love everybody that's on the platform and supports the platform. So definitely go check out some of the great things that Levi does. Yes, he's got some women's wrestling, some other stuff out there. He does a number of different things. He's truly the definition of a free spirit, a freelancer. And I love that, because that's kind of how I've been successful in life. It's funny. People ask me all the time. They say, well, how have you been successful in life? You've never really technically had a real 9-to-5 job, but you've always had a lot of different successes. And I said, well, because I was always a freelancer. I was always since I'm a kid, I was always very entrepreneurial. I had some luck around the way, but it's not about me. But obviously, thank you to what you do there. Our friends there in the foundation, I believe the IMF Tag Team Champions are in work, and we hope that they are working safely. And Hillbilly Tilly thanks me, and yes, thank you so much, Hillbilly. But thank you for you, because it's guys like you and Levi McDaniel who have done this for the love of wrestling. True wrestlers do this for the love of this sport. You guys have done that. And Xavier Thorne, Mr. Xavier Thorne, the interesting Xavier Thorne, the standout Xavier Thorne, who is most famously seen on Sportswire recently in the bathroom. Hopefully when he comes back on May 27th, is not in the bathroom, but he certainly goes out there and says a number on some other wrestlers that he's been certainly battling in Resurrection Wrestling and others. But I love Xavier Thorne. Xavier Thorne is also a 2K player like yourself, and he's a very good 2K player, actually.
Oh.
Check out his YouTube channel. Love Mr. Xavier Thorne. And obviously, your friend, your brother, Mr. Dirty Donnie, who's, by the way, he's doing a podcast these days. Check out his Facebook page. He's got a really interesting podcast. Want to give him a nice little shout out. Nicholas Crenson, he's now nonchalant Nicholas Crenson. He says, here, you've earned it. And also, congratulations from another Hall of Famer to another. Craven Rage, who was famously the first person to turn down the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame and then simultaneously decided he was accepting it. He is here. Right. Also, the IMF management is here. Obviously, not talking about you. Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, who's starting the All Wrestling Matters World Underground Championship to be crowned at Summer Bash from July 5th to July 7th. Shock it, baby. Oh, shocker, baby. Always remember. There you go. Some rather breaking the fourth wall words from Omen Black. Congratulations, brother, my mentor. Really appreciate the love and support you've given me, trust and belief you have in me. A great friend, a greater brother, 4 up, 4 down. Without you, brother, I wouldn't be where I am at today. That is all because you took a chance on me, which is exactly what I said in my speech. And by the way, I do it like Paul Heyman. I don't go out there and read it off a teleprompter. I just do it off the top of my head. That's basically what I said. Levi McDaniel, ladies and gentlemen, this man has given his knowledge, his decades of knowledge in this sport to guys that if they didn't have it, not to say they would be like Triple L, who takes the big fat L, or whatever WFEW or WNEW, they may need an OBGYN, or, some of these other companies that, should be more, again, staying on the Fisher-Price training wheels, maybe playing with some plushies and maybe certainly having, I don't know, a couple of peeps left over from Easter. The point is that Omen and Soldier, guys like this benefit from this man who's traveled to Japan and wrestled. He has wrestled in Japan. This is the Belfast Bulldog with a massive following in places like the UK. My also big place of support and places like Germany. Also greatest IMF GM as well.
Let me say this real quick, Tom.
Say anything you want.
Okay. About with Dirty just Omen. Thanks for the love, brother. But literally, this is the part where some people aren't quite seeing, and I just know from being in the business, we're just getting started. So there's a lot of love right now, but we're just getting started, guys. This ball is just starting to roll. So what we have right now is going to be just a small blip on the radar when the IMF story is all said and done. And I think it's easy to get caught up in the last show or the next one, but I'm telling you, this is a small blip of what's yet to come. And yeah, man, that's all I want to say. You can keep the comments rocking and rolling.
No, absolutely. Listen, I'm always a believer in the best is yet to come. I've always been a believer in that. I've always been a believer in the line, a rising tide will always lift all boats. I was always told that. I have a background in politics, and there was somebody that was somebody I used to work with, and he would always talk about a rising tide that will lift all boats. And I've always lived by that motto, a rising tide will lift all boats. And you have been the rising tide, not only for these guys, but also for everything in this sport about All Wrestling Matters. Everything we do in the backyard, the underground, together we will win. You've been a part of that. Want to say hello to our all-out champion and our friends over at WC in the great state of Wisconsin, who have certainly imported some WC members we're going to get to in about 5 minutes. And he says, congratulations, James Taylor, the Nemesis James Taylor. By the way, James Taylor, you got to get Levi McDaniel on the Nemesis sessions. That would be an interesting show. I tell you what, James Taylor and Levi McDaniel, 2 big-time YouTube stars, 2 guys that are social media darlings. I mean, that would certainly be one for the ages. I mean, I would certainly want to see that more than Taylor and Travis these days on my social media channels. I'd want to say Levi and James Taylor, and Levi talking about wrestling, talking shop. Let's go. Let's open up shop. Let's drop. Oh, James Taylor, you better bring on Levi McDaniel. Do it this weekend. You better open up your YouTube channel and bring on Levi McDaniel, the Belfast Bulldog.
Let's do it, man.
Whoa. Sunday night, maybe 9 o'clock Eastern time. How's that sound? Hopefully better than a C2K nursery rhyme. Please, James Taylor, save us from this rhyme.
Sounds awesome because we're gonna kick ass Saturday night at IMF and Sunday.
That's exactly why I put that out there. See, I knew how to sell it. So there you go. Want to say hello to Mr. Isaiah Rage? I'm going to see him coming up in a little while. Levi nearly blew up. How's it going? So I think we're way behind in the comments. I could see it. Prince Achia, who says he's the future IMF champion, holding the championship. The internet can't handle the excitement. Yeah, because you know why? Forget about Taylor and Travis. It's more about Taylor and Levi. That's what it's about. Taylor and Levi. So James Taylor, open up that YouTube channel and make it happen Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Taft Taylor, YouTube. Be there or be square. So make sure you need to happen.
After I get back from my mother's house, after I eat all her food, and I come home and do the show.
That's a great way to digest. Make it happen, James Taylor. Congrats, Levi. And
after it's done, go take a big old dookie, baby. Whoa.
Well, sorry, can't say that. Well, we had a guy last Sunday do that, but that's a different conversation for a different time. I want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Joshua Allen, the owner and founder of Tennessee Backyard Wrestling. Just real quick, I want to make sure everybody out there in the great states of Tennessee and Mississippi are doing well because they had some major floods, major damage the last few days out there. So I just want to give my thoughts and prayers to all those great people. Love the beautiful people in Tennessee and Mississippi. Resurrection Wrestling, Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, great supporters of ours. Just want to make sure everybody out there is safe and sound. And yes, Tom Zan, yes, I am here. How are you? Nice to see you. Rage in the Cage is going to be a banger. MC right. Reverend Tom. Yes, a MC that certainly is bringing out certainly some more drink shots. But okay, obviously I can get into that. I got to get these guys on the show. So talk to me about the card. What can we expect? Run down it for me for a few minutes. Then I got to get the show on the road for these guys. Talk to me about what you're looking forward to here coming up this Saturday.
Well, we got two big pre-show matches. I don't know if I'm supposed to say them or not, but
well, don't say it. If you're not supposed to, don't say it. But give me some of the big matches that we can talk about.
Well, we know we're going to have Damian Saint and we're going to have Omen.
Oh, yeah. Definitely know that.
We definitely know we're going to have Soldier GP and Prince Ichea. So that's two big matches right there that the fans are going to have to stay and watch. You know, the night's going to be rocking and rolling. I mean, we got 9 matches total. If you go to the pre-show, you might see 10, 11 matches. You're going to have the Hellhounds there versus the Death Gallery. We got Sean Jovi versus Kodak Kid, guys. We can't forget about that. And, of course, we can't forget about we got Mephisto. Everybody's got to love him. The fans rocking and rolling. Isaiah Rage, we just saw him in the comments. We saw him at the last IMF show making his debut with us. And then we got Remington Stryker in that match. We got my man, Dirty Donnie. He's going to be wrestling. Come on, that's my boy. We're at the booth all night commentary.
Yes, I see it all the time watching these shows. You guys are always there, and that's kind of your fellow MC.
That's my boy.
And all the great things. And if you want to watch some of the pre-show and all the shows eventually, that's the IMF YouTube channel. And I want to make the announcement here real quick before you get off. Is that actually as I always do for every IMF show, and I truly believe in this because it's about all wrestling matters, I will actually purchase one ticket. Even though I'm in the great state of New York, you guys are in the great state of Iowa, I am going to make sure that there's one person out there. So it's one lucky person, whether it's a kid, somebody that doesn't have the money on it, they want to go to the show and see all these great matches, they can go. That is my support to show that you guys, it's about all wrestling matters. So I want to announce that, even though I always do it every time we're on the air, we go and have these shows. I want to make that announcement here that if there's somebody out there, you don't have the money to go to the show, you want to see all these great wrestlers, you want to meet them, maybe you learn so much, you actually decide to actually want to go out there and do it the right way And unlike some other people that maybe were doing it on a 7th grade gym mat, maybe some open field in the middle of nowhere, maybe where their mom's basement wasn't available, this is where you can go and actually find out about these guys and go out and watch them. So I want to put that out there. So we'll take care of that when we're off the air. And I want people to support the IMF. There is all of their links here right in the background below. Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling Company. Please support them. IMF_wrestling. YouTube, IMF Wrestling 666. I can't thank you enough. I want to let you have any final thoughts, anything else you want to share, and then I'm going to let the rest of the guys come on, and we got to get you on James Taylor's show. So, James Taylor, I know you're out there. You got to get this man. This guy has a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information. He has wrestled in Japan. He has wrestled all over the United States. He wrestled in Puerto Rico. He was one of even the lucky guys that during COVID that actually traveled outside of the States and wrestled for a little bit. This man is truly the definition of all wrestling matters because he's done it all around the world. And that would be a banger of a conversation, and far more of a banger when guys on here bang themselves in the head without knowing how to do it and out going over with it. Levi will be far more of a banger than that. But anything else you'd like to say before we get the show on the road?
Yeah, first off, you're right. All wrestling matters. And that's something I hold dear to my heart and I believe in. So I will support that till the day I die. All wrestling matters. It's about your spirit, what's inside. It's not about all the anything else, the bullshit that comes with wrestling, the good and the bad. What really matters is all wrestling matters, and you feel it in your heart, the passion, everything. It shouldn't take an arena. You should have the same feeling in the yard as you do in the arena. I've been everywhere, man, from the grandma's basement to arenas in Japan, like you said, other places, other countries, whatever. I have the same amount of passion when I walk into IMF. I'm injured right now. We're just getting started. IMF, guys, I want everybody who's watching this right now to go to their YouTube page. Check it out if you haven't already. If you're in the area, like Tom said, he's going to sponsor someone for a ticket. That's about the best thing I've heard in a long time. I love helping people. Go to the show. Find a way. Take your friends. Check it out. Give it a chance. You're not going to be disappointed. You'll get to meet some wrestlers. You'll get to be entertained. And if you've never seen it, give it a try. Other than that, I don't want to take up all the time. You got other guys come, that need to come in here.
Me right now. I have guys messaging me, come on, Tom, because it's funny. You're gonna laugh at this. I was like, I'm only gonna give you 5 minutes. No, I went over because you know what? This is what I do here on this platform. I feel like I owe you one, and I feel like you should have been in this Hall of Fame really months ago. You should certainly be recognized with a lot of great people. You know what? As a matter of fact, you should be recognized with other people from other sports that have done great things for him. My buddy Jason Facino coaches the United States amputee men's soccer team. My buddy Danny Burns, who played in the NCAA college basketball Final Four. My buddy Ernest Dove, who just shared the show on Twitter. He's a baseball writer and reporter. He's covered the New York Mets and all the different guys that are up there. I feel like, to me, you should be up there with all the big people that are out there. Yes, we have a lot of our underground and our yarders, and yes, that's a lot of it because that's a personal belief to support and, carry on this mission. But to me, your career, your story deserves, to me, should have been recognized far earlier, but I'm going to make up for it. I think tonight we'll do that. We'll bring you back on. Definitely down the road. You're going to be here with us next month. And James Taylor, he's going to make up for it because he's got 40,000+ subscribers on YouTube and 80,000 on TikTok. So if he puts you on his platform, you're going to certainly skyrocket, and he's going to skyrocket even further because he needs some good guests to come on his show because he had Copper Dragon. He's got to follow up Copper Dragon by bringing on you. But that's a different conversation for a different time. Congratulations. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you so much. I know you've won like 26 championships in your career. You're probably impressed that I even knew that. But the point is that what you've done is that you've given your knowledge and passed it on to people that would not have had the whereabouts to do what they're doing right now because of what you've done. That's, to me, your biggest success, and that's why you're here, and that's why you're in our Hall of Fame. And thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do for this great sport. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And I can't wait to see what the future is for Saturday's show and talk about it in about 60 seconds.
Sounds good, Tom. Thanks, man. Yes to James. We'll get on that show. And yes to you anytime you want to talk about me and my career. But tonight, I definitely appreciate the induction. And let's rock and roll talking with these other guys. And this show we're gonna have at IMF, because it's gonna be a banger. We got some really good guests on here tonight.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm pumped. I'm always pumped up with the IMF. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, second member of our 8th class. He is the owner of Levi McDaniel Fight Promotions. You can check out all their great links. They're on YouTube, Twitch. They're on the websites. They've got blog spots. Check them all out. Support Levi McDaniel. He's also the general manager of the IMF. We're going to now take him off the screen and bring on our opening to show. I'm sure these guys were like, get the show on the road already. We got the open. We got tough act to follow. You got a tough act, Nicholas Crenson, to follow what I just said about Levi McDaniel, everything he just said. But you guys are going to try to do that here, because for those that are listening and watching, we're going to go shotgun here tonight. You are going to be in the ring coming up here this weekend. You're going to be in the ring against the Hellhounds. So for those that are listening and watching, Nicholas Crenson, you've got a lot on the line here. You've got a lot you're fighting for personally. You're going to tell us about that. In Darkfire, you're going to tell us what was on your mind with those Men in Black Will Smith-like glasses, and certainly that maybe has got you somewhere straight out of a Bernie Mac sitcom or comedy. But talk about what you guys are going to be coming up here. Because no, I'm not trying to career stand-up comedy. We're going to be talking about you against the Hellhounds, gentlemen. So talk about Death Gallery and your history, your unique history, which to me, I'm still kind of wondering. You guys, after what you've put your bodies through each other over these past 2 years, you guys are now teaming up. So tell us what we can expect coming up this Saturday against the Hellhounds to kick off tonight's IMF Rage in the Cage show.
Thank you very much, Tom, for all of that. And honestly, I'm going to say this again. Levi, congratulations. You earned it, buddy. You have been an amazing help to not just everybody down there in Iowa and IMF, but to me, to Darkfire, to Jovi.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations, Levi. And, it's funny, I just mentioned Jovi. This whole thing with me and Darkfire, Jovi was a centerpiece of it. He was one of the big keys to it. And it was through all the battles that me and Darkfire
a year and a half ago. I mean, you put this man through hell, Darkfire. You put this man through a lot.
Yeah, we put each other through hell, and we needed to, because at least I know for him there was something he was missing, and I kind of made him dig down and finally pull that out. Same thing I did with Jovi. Now, let's get to the brass tacks at hand. We did have a IMF World Tag Team title shot against Matthew Forsaken and Darkron. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, they can't make it. That match was a little bit more respectful. This one now, me, Darkfire, Death Gallery against the Hellhounds of Yurik, the grumpy little midget Viking, and Ox McCoy.
Ox McCoy, though, a well-traveled, hardcore, a real hardcore wrestler. Unlike those guys that have diapers on when they go out there and wrestle and say we're going to put a hardcore match on, but the only thing they should maybe be doing with hardcore is maybe watching some disgusting hardcore porn on their internet. Certainly, the point is that you guys are stepping up to the plate in a big way, and with guys that they have been making their mark against the foundation. They have set their sights on them. And how are you guys going to put all those differences aside and be able to focus on getting a huge victory here to eventually, I'm sure, get that showdown with Darkron and Matthew Forsaken?
So this is where the real fun begins. Because yes, Ox McCoy he is a death match icon right now. And that's fine. Yurik, he's along for the ride. Congratulations, Yurik. This Saturday, Rage in the Cage, when we go for that IMF Hardcore Championship, it's two things here. Three. Make that three. One, revenge for what they did at the Rumble, and they almost injured Darkfire and made it so he couldn't wrestle for months. Two, you ended up on my shit list when you decided to help goddamn Craven Rage.
Why would you do that?
You did mention that, to be fair. You did mention that a couple of months ago. You had your gripes with that allowed Craven Rage to be a Grand Slam champion and, to be the WC Interstate champion. You did mention that.
And 3, for me at least, Darkfire has his own motivations here, but for me, this weekend is personal to me because it is the 2nd anniversary of my mom's passing on Saturday. So I am going to put everything I have into this match. I'm going to bleed as much as I can, and I will fight till the very end. You are going to have to fucking kill me, Ox and Uric, because I am going to rip those titles away from you, and I'm going to leave you wallowing in a pool of your own shit and blood. Because honestly, boys, you made the mistake when you decided that you're going to kind of mess with how things are going on. You want to be the rebels, and I get that. I love being a rebel too.
Rebel's been fun.
Being a rebel is fun, but there's being a rebel, and then there's being Damien Saint's bitches.
Well, that's true. I forgot about that. Whoops.
Some strong words there. It sounds like that you want to give Mr. Uric and Mr. McCoy a bigger hospital bill than the one Loose Cannon most recently faced. I mean, it sounds like that you guys really are looking for proving something against these guys to, again, eventually set your sights on this long-term relationship here that you guys want to foster.
It's not just that. Gold! There's gold on the line, hardcore tag team titles, and yes, eventually we do want the actual world tag team titles. We want all the gold, and we are going to work and claw and scrape every single chance we get to get to every single championship we can. I will be IMF World Champion one day. I will be IMF Hardcore Champion one day. I will hit a Grand Slam one day on all those belts. And I am going to fight tooth and nail to earn it. Unlike some people in this business, I actually want to earn my fucking way.
Well, you know what? We'll certainly have to find out. And we're going to have Sean Jovi on here in about 5 minutes, the resident rock star. And let me get to some comments here before we move on to a few final thoughts from the team of Death Gallery, Darkfire, and I guess, is it nonchalant Nicholas Crenton, who's anything but nonchalant tonight. He is anything but nonchalant. And also here, like that Johnny Cash song. Yes, Levi McDaniel's been everywhere, man. Good song, by the way. And thank you, Dirty, for your support as well. Craven Rage, you mentioned he wants a day for Levi McDaniel. Stay tuned. From Mephisto, did someone say Uric, the imaginary Viking? Well, I think he is a Viking. I mean, I think Vikings still exist, right? I mean, they still exist. Prince Achia feels that he was attacked.
He feels attacked because he's Mr. Show up at the last freaking minute.
He's holding the IMF championship, technically, for what that's worth.
Yeah, you can hold a belt and not be a champion. I've done that before.
Well, he's got the title. He does have it, though. I mean, I'm sure he'll talk about that potentially in a little while. Management from WC, did someone say crap in blood? Might want to get that check, Crenton. No, we're not. And no, we're not talking about a Silver Wolf match. No, we're not talking about Adonis Velios. No, we're not talking about Skulls after he was hitting the head with a baseball bat. No, we're not talking about Tyler Ark's most recent appearance on Sportswire Radio. We are talking about what Nicholas Crenton had to say. And Prince would like to say he's earned everything he's got. He'll be here for that. Okay, so gentlemen, I'm going to give you this opportunity. Is there anything else that you want to say to your opponents before coming up this Saturday at Rage in the Cage, where you will see the Hellhounds, Uric the Viking, and Ox McCoy?
I'm going to make Uric look like a little bitch.
Uric, Ox, don't think we don't respect you. We do. It's just you kind of just got on our shit list.
Yeah, you kind of did. Yeah, in a way.
And if I have to, there's a little quote, and this will kind of give you an idea what I might have to do. But
sure, go for it.
Wayne, there's a famous phrase that says, "What does Wayne Brady do? Wayne Brady chokes bitches," and I'm going to choke a bitch out this Saturday.
Well, I'm going to certainly put the disclaimer out for those that are listening and watching, just to put a disclaimer out there that Nicholas Crenson is not actually going to do that. He is talking metaphorically about his opponent. He's talking about his opponent metaphorically, Uric the Viking and Ox McCoy. But what he's saying is that that was certainly a joke that was probably left out of the Tom Brady roast. But he is going to, what he really was trying to say was that he is going to roast his opponents, the Hellhounds, along with Darkfire. And this unusual pairing seems to be more attached at the hip than maybe we have seen, especially as fans as WCE. And it looks like these guys are here to stay. And again, who would have thought Nicholas Crenson, a man who's had more name changes than Madonna, and Darkfire, who's got a new look. He's certainly trying a Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, Kango hat there with even less hair, and Will Smith sunglasses. Certainly somebody there is trying to get into the summer swing. But we'll see if the summer swing is going to help him and his tag team partner, Nicholas Crenson, coming up here at IMF's Rage in the Cage. Also, Ace Diamond would like to tell me that Uric ain't real storybooks. Well, I guess we'll find out when Mr. Diamond is here. Sean Jovi said, meant to post that as me. He trains dragons, struggles of being an EVP for WC. I don't know what that may be. I'll leave that for WC. Fellas, I'm going to see you guys, obviously, after the show. I'm going to break it here for those that are listening and watching. Nicholas Crenson is here 2 weeks from tonight. He is going to get a bunch of things off his chest. I assume coming to this match will be a part of that. Also, WCE, a lot to talk about there. He's going to talk about where he sees himself coming up this season. He spoke about some goals. Also, he talked about IMF Hardcore, IMF World Title. I am sure that Mr. Crenson has his sights set maybe on the All-Out Championship now that James Marshall has it. And boy, you see some lighting here. We have really expanded here. I mean, boy, I mean, some people, we saw more there just now. There was more. Listen, I got this. I was going to get Joe in a second, but I saw more there in that background than maybe any loose cannon match, any Big Bad Wolf match, any Tyler Ark match, any Adonis Felios match outside of when he wrestled Sean Jovi or Craven Rage, or any Tyler Ark match, or is he bulletproof or is he full of empty bullets, Brandon Wolf, and anybody else that was in a company called Triple Out? Yeah, but he might be bulletproof, but I don't think he's got any bullets in the gun, so that would certainly make him the opposite of bulletproof. But the point is, I saw more there in that than all of those guys combined, and certainly more than in a New York Minute from what those guys bring to the table. And obviously, I like the lights. We'll talk about it here coming up on May the 23rd with you, Mr. Crenson. I'm sure Darkfire will be in the background, and maybe you guys will be victorious, and we'll talk about what's to come in IMF and also WC. And thank you, gentlemen, and we will see you soon.
Thank you for having us, Reverend. You have a good night.
That was the team of Death Gallery, who will be up in the ring this Saturday's Rage in the Cage, IMF's most new show that's going to be taking place against the team of Uric the Viking. Yes, it's Uric the Viking. He does exist according to what I see on my match card. And Ox McCoy, respected hardcore and deathmatch wrestler. And speaking to people who has wrestled Ox McCoy and defeated him, he is now kind of Mr. All Wrestling Matters. He is our ambassador of All Wrestling Matters. He's kind of also one of the darlings right now in this sport, the man that everybody loves. Everybody used to say everybody loves Raymond, but everybody loves Jovi. He is the resident rock star. He is our favorite rock star, your favorite rock star, the Foundation's rock star, and he is the WC Interstate Openweight Champion. All is well in WC once again. Sean Jovi, the resident rock star. And Sean Jovi, I know we had a lot to talk about last night. It was one for the ages. People are still kind of digesting what is going to happen with this All Wrestling Matters and the future of it. I'm sure you guys will address that in the coming weeks before Summer Bash, July 5th to July 7th. But Sean Jovi, we talked a little bit about it. I'm going to spend a few minutes with you on it because I have a slew of guys still to get through. But for those that are listening and watching, it's you and Kodak Kid. Kodak Kid, I saw what he had to say on your vlog after we went off the air, and you've got still a lot to prove, and you're defending that Interstate Championship against the picture of perfection Kodak Kid, who didn't seem like he was anything but that in his most recent words. And what's going to happen here this Saturday, and tell us how you're going to be marching toward Summer Bash and that All Wrestling Matters championship you're certainly going to crown, and maybe even crown on yourself. Who knows? But Sean Jovi,
I'm
tell
not
us.
Silver Wolf.
But you're not Silver Wolf. Okay, so you're not Silver Wolf. Okay.
I'm not Silver Wolf, so
Not loose cannon either, right? Because loose
I'm
cannon.
neither of those.
Okay,
no.
but you may not be loose cannon and Silver Wolf. You might not be Brandon Wolf, who might be bulletproof. I don't know how you'd say what he is. Anything with
He's
that.
shooting blanks, my friend. He's shooting.
Well,
blanks.
he's shooting a lot of blanks, but he's got certainly nothing here on this card, and he's got nothing to do with it. But Kodak Kid does, and he shot a few blanks against James Marshall, and he's going to try to find if he's got a few rounds left in the gun, and he's going to be targeted toward you, Sean Jovi, and tell us how you're going to keep that Interstate Openweight Championship this Saturday.
Well, there's a lot to this match, and more than people think. Like I said in my vlog, Kodak and I, this predates WCE by like a few months. I think it was like in April of like 2021, and WC started a little later that year in September. So like it's crazy to think about that. And then we had the match for respect a couple years ago, and now we're on the rubber match, the big match, in front of a live crowd inside of a steel cage. Tom, it doesn't get much bigger than that.
It doesn't get much better than this. And how does
That's
that add that? How does this add to the rubber match between you and Kodak Kid?
It's big. Like I said, I think that he has a lot more to prove than me, but I also have a lot to prove. I don't want to transitionally hold this belt like a certain Craven Rage. I want to be the very best in the yard, and that is why I may try and go after this. But right now, my goal is to hang on to this as long as I can, because this is my OG baby.
For sure. You know, you said something interesting, if I could go back to.
Yeah.
You talked about being the very best. And, you know, we love you, Sean Jovi. Everybody
I
loves
want
you.
to be the very best.
And that's why I wanted to talk about that, because a lot of people on this platform get mentioned for being the best. D'Angelo the Flame right now is this backyard wrestling darling who's traveling all over the place. He's now in NEW Underground Wrestling with your old friend Jake Matthews. Jack Delta is brought up time and time again. Anthony Steele, if that's a thing still, if he's in the yard, he's not in the yard, his name is always mentioned. Then there's the likes of your brethren in the foundation, Omen Black, Soldier GP. Then there's the likes of Aaron Blaze, the headline, the main event, Aaron Blaze. There's the good guy, CJ Black, who was the ROEW champion of the world until Jacob Collins usurped him. Then there's the likes of now XCW, Miano Diaz. Miano Diaz is a young and up-and-coming star. Then you've got the likes in VTW and DBW, the Blaze, Ace Christian. You got the likes of so many other people out there. But for the first time, Sean Jovi, you talked about being one of the best in the yard. Do you feel like, as crazy as this sounds what I'm about to tell you, that you have been overlooked in being one of the best in the yard?
Well, I mean, Tom, you did make me 2023 Wrestler of the Year for a reason.
I did.
I
did. But we don't talk about you maybe enough compared to some names like Black Delta and D'Angelo the Flame and ADT and CJ Black. Maybe we should be talking
I could
about
be
you
overlooked. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm overlooked, but I'm definitely under. I'm kind of under the radar and need to be more on the radar. And that's kind of what I've started doing already, starting with last night.
Oh, last night changed your career. There's no question about that. You were changed, and that's going to be known from years from now. But the point is, you have a match coming up, and you defeat Kodak Kid. You win the rubber match. Maybe we should start having conversations. You know what, Sean Jovi? We're really going to go there. You know, I'm going to take your YouTube off the screen because I actually want to pull you up to my screen for a second. And maybe, you know what, Sean Jovi, the resident rock star, you know, we always talk about you. Yes, we love you, Sean Jovi. Mm-hmm. You probably got more awards than anybody on this platform I've given. I love you. I'm actually going to even announce it on the air that I'm going to personally donate to you to actually make sure your trip, your journey goes out there and becomes as successful as possible, because I want you to be rewarded for everything that you've done here for us and everything that you've done for the yard. But you know what, Sean Jovi? Maybe we should really be talking about, we should want to see you in the ring with the likes of a Jack Delta, with the likes of an Anthony Steele, with the likes of a headline Aaron Blaze, with the likes of a D'Angelo LaFlame, with the likes of a Jake Matthews, with the likes of a Power Surge, with the likes of a D Savage, with the likes of a Mr. Judgment. Can I say him here live on this platform? With the likes of an Aaron Jones, with the likes of a good guy CJ Black or a Jason Storm or a Jacob Collins now or a Tommy the Man Merriman. He wrestled in the IMF. Was he allowed to now come back to the IMF again? And, all the different people that everybody talks about here on this platform, ADT and, Colbat and, Dylan Andrews, the war criminal. And, we can go up and down the list, but maybe we should start saying we want to see Sean Jovi wrestle some of those names. And maybe this
I would be honored for it too. That's what I want. I want to be to the very point where I can stand toe to toe with the very best the Yard and Underground has to offer.
And maybe that this Saturday starts that you get a victory over Kodak Kid, who was, again, only up until recently the all-out champion. He is a guy that can go. He is a guy that puts his body through things. You've got a history with him, obviously, with his brother, and he's had a long career in the Yard, but a victory over him, maybe we should start talking about dream scenarios with you. After all, you were the guy that was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to travel. I'm a WC through and through guy, to now you're this guy that's basically changed the face of this sport as we know it. And you're the one guy that everybody says outside of WC, yeah, I like Jovi. I respect him. I watch the Cannonball. I watch what he does in the ring. I watch how he conducts himself. Maybe it's time that we start to kick the ballistics. Maybe we start to go real for a second. And maybe we start talking about the elephant in the room, is that Sean Jovi should be maybe setting his sights on those that are time and time again considered to be the best in the Yard.
I agree. And I think that time is now. This is the year. This is the season. Let's get the ball rolling, baby.
What do you want to say as your final words toward Kodak Kid?
Kodak, I'm not going to underestimate you. I know you're a dangerous man. I know you're a wanted man, according to your theme. But Kodak, you got to understand one thing. This isn't about your brother that I stole his gimmick from over 10 years ago and then tarnished it. I did do that. I apologize. He didn't like it, and now he's in jail somewhere, but whatever.
That's real, actually. His brother actually is in jail because we've talked about it on this platform.
yeah, but whatever. Dandy Dan's doing Dandy Dan things, and it's not about the passion and the respect and all that. It's just about who's the best. WCE had two wonderful champions at the end of last season. Who's the better former champ? Is it the former champ Kodak Kid, or is it your reigning defending undisputed King of Rock and King of the Interstate, Sean Jovi?
You're Mr. All Wrestling Matters. He's the picture of perfection.
Exactly.
He's the guy that'll do any death-defying stunt. You're the guy that's got the cannonball. You're the guy that goes out there and does things that almost no big man in the Yard does. This is a true dream match, and we get to see it in a live venue with hundreds of people that are going to go out there and see it. And the winner of this match arguably can set their sights on who really could be the best in the Yard, and especially if you win this match. I think it's time to start the next time you come on to have the conversation of maybe seeing you wrestle a D'Angelo LaFlame, maybe seeing you wrestle a Jake Matthews, maybe seeing you wrestle the likes of a Jack Delta or Anthony Steele. Is he in the Yard, not in the Yard? I mean, how about the likes of a James Taylor? Maybe he wants to come back and wrestle you instead of Anthony Steele. How about you and Atomic Titan? How about you and Russell Cooper? How about you and the Nature Boy, Gage Flair? Woo! Can we say that here on this platform? How about Alan Michaels, who's coming on my show tomorrow? How about you and the Blaze, Ace Christian? How about you and Aaron Blaze? How about you and ADT?
There's just so many opportunities out there, Tom.
And maybe Saturday is that start transitioning instead of you having to worry about Craven Rage and Kodak Kid, who certainly may not take as many pictures as in a Kodak Kid photo, or maybe James Marshall. We've already went down there on that road. Darkfire, your old best friend, and Nicholas Crenson. Maybe that discussion starts this Saturday. What would you want to say as your closing thoughts for those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio? After all, it's kind of your moment of All Wrestling Matters. You're Mr. All Wrestling Matters. So what is your final thoughts here before I move on to some more of your cohorts in the
well, I wanted one thing to be said. I do have a slight update on this.
Go for it.
So next week on Jovi's Quest, the vlog of the show, I will announce how we will determine this. I already have an idea in mind. I'm gonna have meetings with IMF and all the other people involved this weekend.
And not Triple W, right? Not Triple L?
No Triple W. They're all disqualified from ever holding this. Anyway, we'll just pretend we didn't talk about Triple L.
Well, I heard there's one wrestler actually that posted a photo of himself going in a match, and he advertised Pro Wrestling Venom.
Oh, I saw that. Oh my. Tom, you have no idea how hard I facepalmed this week, but nonetheless, we'll figure. I already have an idea on how this will be determined. I think it's gonna be great. But the other thing I want to say is to Kodak Kid, who couldn't make it on here tonight for some reason or another. You better show up Saturday. You couldn't make the last few events, and by golly, man, you are not going to back out on me. This is going to be war in a cage. My first cage match in front of a live crowd. And I've been getting used to that crowd. I said like a few years ago, no, I don't want to wrestle in front of a live crowd. I'm too shy, man. Bull crap, look where I'm at now. I'm ready. This is going to be a moment to remember, and I guarantee it.
Last year was the summer of Jovi. Now this year, ladies and gentlemen, may very well be the all wrestling matters Jovi, because he figuratively and literally could be wrestling anybody that truly matters in the underground and the backyard of wrestling. And that starts coming up here this Saturday at Rage in the Cage as Sean Jovi wrestles his first career match in the cage, and he puts up that WCE Interstate Openweight Championship. And stay tuned to Jovi's vlog next week. And by the way, if you're out there, hit that sub button for Jovi. He's almost at 700 subscribers, and we want to help him get there. So you can see the announcement of the beginnings of the All Wrestling Matters and what happens to crown that championship. It'll be from July 5th to July 7th at Summer Bash, which is presented by the IMF and DKW. And I have also announced here on the air that I'm going to be giving some type of donation to Mr. Jovi next month to allow him to be able to go out and help for his travel and help to defend that to put that championship, to defend it for the people. So you can see those things here coming up on all Sportswire radio platforms and also Mr. Jovi's channels. And I want to say hello to a couple of people here. Also, Mephisto says his brother from another galaxy. He's still not foundation, right? But
he's not yet. Nah, he's not.
He's not. Okay. Well,
he's honorary in my book, though.
I say. I want to say hello also to the general manager of Resurrection Wrestling, Mr. Steven Silvestri. And Steven, your company has been such a big topic because of D'Angelo the Flame, and I believe D'Angelo the Flame is going to be here coming up this Sunday, so you might want to tune in for that. All right, Mr. Jovi, I got to go. I got some people that you know very well, a man that took a championship or two away from you coming up on the show shortly. No, not Craven Rage, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Jovi's vlog coming up next week, and I will get onto the podcast as well one of these days. And thank you, my friend, as always. And I can't wait to see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. Thank you.
That was the resident rock star here, Sean Jovi, your favorite rock star, our favorite rock star. He's Mr. All Wrestling Matters, and Sean Jovi is going to be wrestling this Saturday to put up his WC Interstate Openweight Championship against none other than Kodak Kid. We'll see if he's really the picture of perfection or he's got fewer photos than a Kodak snapshot camera that you might still be able to find in a drugstore or maybe in a relic bin somewhere. But thank you so much, Mr. Jovi. We'll see you soon. And we're bringing on here a couple of different people. Speaking of champions that have been on a run, and I'm bringing two for the price of one on here. They got a lot to say coming up here. His name is now Frederick Daniels. He is the RCW World Underground Champion.
Hey, hold on. Tom. Ace, what is this? Come on, I told you to set my stuff up, and you put me as Frederick Daniels.
Frederick?
I didn't do that, Freddie. That's all technology, man. I don't know how to do that.
Well, let me start.
I paid someone to do mine.
Let me give the champion a better introduction. So let me say hello to Freddie Daniels, who is the RCW World Underground Champion, alongside his manager, Ace Diamond, the eyes of professional wrestling. Right now, I have to say he's one of the hottest managers in the entire sport right now. He's got more gold than Paul Heyman wishes he had these days. He's got a lot more hair than Paul Heyman has these days. And he's got better looking glasses than Paul Heyman does these days. He's got a lot more facial hair to boot. And he'll probably be a whole Mr. Heyman is very soon. That's a real shoot for you there, Mr. Diamond. Maybe next time you come on this platform, I'll give you that Hall of Fame moment like Mr. Heyman got, and I'm sure I'll do a better job than Mr. Heyman did for his induction speech. But it's not about that, guys. You have a big show coming up, and I want to start with you, Mr. Diamond. Tell us what we can expect from Freddie Daniels and anything else in between, because you were a busy man this Saturday. I hope you're getting paid for all 4 times you come out there in the ring.
Yeah, we're still negotiating that. But, right now I'm just happy to have my guys representing me. Freddie, he's got gold over his shoulder. He's earned that, and he's, let's not forget, he's actually beaten King Josiah already once. Yep. So why he's getting the match again, I don't know. That wasn't up to me. Freddie, again, I'm trying to use my poll. It just sometimes doesn't work. I'm not perfect. Ace ain't perfect, but,
Come on.
So I guess then, Freddie, that you already had 1 win over King Josiah.
No, but I did hear.
Go ahead. What do you want to say, Freddie? Go ahead. Freddie.
Oh, well, I did want to say, I heard about the DKW and how they're not coming. So that makes 1 less person in my match. That means that it's King Josiah versus Freddie Daniels. No. We kept it a triple threat, didn't we, Ace? You found me an actual worthy opponent, Jacob Collins.
Whoa, Jacob, did you wait. Time out for a second.
I didn't?
Did you just tell me? Wait. Ace, I think you and I might actually be on the same side on this one here. Did you mean to tell me Freddie Daniels, the RCW World Underground Champion?
Ace, I asked for that to happen. Are you telling me that didn't happen? Hey, come on. I wanted a worthy opponent at least. Come on. Are you telling me that's just me and King? Oh. Well, at least
I'm doing my
least they'll
best. I'm doing my best, Freddie. I'm trying.
So you mean to tell me that it's still?
It's
so what's the deal?
It's okay.
Is this
okay.
one? Are we getting a one-on-one?
No. I guess I don't get Jacob Collins or a worthy opponent like I asked Ace Diamond to get me. But
I'm trying.
I got breaking news for you. Can I bring it up on the
about other things?
Can I time out? Can I, for you both gentlemen, can I bring the breaking news to your attentions if you'd like? Well, you got it, it looks like. Apparently, Freddie Daniels, you're going to get a triple threat match because the ROEW World Heavyweight Champion, who literally just won the championship just over 48 hours ago, who defeated the good guy CJ Black, Jacob Collins, a man that has had a lot of success in other places, CBW, XCW. I mean, he has beaten a who's who of people, and he just defeated the guy that's Mr. 7-star superstar, the guy that Copper Dragon says is the best out there, the guy that has defeated the likes of the destructive Jack Delta not once but twice, the guy that has defeated world champion after world champion, CJ Black, the guy that's on everybody's radar. Jacob Collins just beat him. Jacob Collins right now is pound for pound one of the best yarders and undergrounders in this sport. He is here in this match. He is the ROEW heavyweight champion. I mean, this is a dream scenario here that we have the ROEW world champion at the IMF's Rage in the Cage show. I mean, if you weren't into IMF,
Calm down, Tom. I listen, okay.
You haven't faced anybody like Jacob Collins. He just IMF. I know, obviously, I know you've had success, but you haven't faced anybody like Jacob Collins.
You're welcome, kid, but I don't know if you're gonna like that.
Well, apparently you got a joke.
Hey, listen, we're gonna talk to IMF management. All right.
Well, apparently it looks like Jacob Collins isn't showing up because you got basically one-upped.
It was dirty. Really dirty. Come on. What, you trying to sit here and mess with all your wrestlers?
a one-on-one easy defense.
Thank
You
you.
beat him once, you'll beat him twice. It's okay, Freddie. Just trust Ace, trust the process, and let's just walk away with a win.
What do you
Okay,
mean?
well,
This
you
was
know what?
dirty. This was
All right,
all
let-
dirty. This
Let's
wasn't
get back
you.
on track.
There ain't no
Obviously,
process
you know,
with you.
Freddie Daniels is obviously maybe
No,
somebody doesn't,
You're lucky you
maybe
got
he's
plans for
dirty,
me.
maybe dirty, or somebody out there doesn't seem to like some of your tactics, but King Josiah, so why not just beat him a second time? And that should be short yeoman's work for you then, right?
Yeah. I'm a beat King Josiah a second time. You know, him slithering his way back up without anything to show for it. You know, Ace Diamond. Like I said, I don't know why you got me doing this. I mean, but you're lucky you got plans for me later on and you know wrestling and all that. So you best hope everything works out. That's all I gotta say. Give me all these scares with Jacob Collins and all that. You know, I'm joking around here. You know, I'm trying to keep my title and Ace Diamond over here. But no, what's gonna happen this
I
weekend?
mean, you're gonna keep
It's gonna
it.
be
You're gonna
me,
keep
King
it.
Josiah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Like he says, I'm gonna keep it against King Josiah. You know, I'm gonna behead the king like I should have.
So I guess that he won't be a king for a day, but rather a fool for a lifetime after you get done with him on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Like
And
that.
see, Tom understands it.
Yes, he
Ace,
does.
you
Yes,
might
he
wanna-
does.
You might want to claim Ace. You might want to claim that before Tom does. You know. You
Well, it's a
might
Faith
manage
No
it,
More
you know.
album. So you might want to let the band Faith No More know. No, but leave that aside on who has it
We'll
and
get
who
it worked
doesn't.
out.
It's a big weekend for you, Ace Diamond, and Freddie's obviously one of your main clients. But what do you want to say to King Josiah? Obviously, a guy that we've seen some action for. You guys have already handled him. So, what do you want to say, Ace Diamond, to King Josiah? That maybe you know what? Maybe you even want to go further and say, King Josiah, don't even bother showing up and just let Freddie be recrowned as champion.
No, he can show up. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He's got some impressive moves. He's talented. He's just not diamond in the rough talented. You know what I mean? And, you know, I was telling Freddie you're welcome when he thought he got Collins for a second, but I should be saying you're welcome to King Josiah because really you don't deserve the shot. I mean, you already lost to Freddie. Just it's really a pity match, and you know. You're welcome.
What do you have any final words, Freddie, for your opponent, King Josiah, coming up?
King Josiah, the best thing that you can do right now, if you're watching this or anything, is just not show up. You know, you want to sit there. You want to be a king. You want to be able to keep defending that title. I don't even know if you still have or not. You know, you're that irrelevant. You know, but if you want to sit there and you want to keep your wrestling going, then you might not want to show up because, right? He doesn't sit here and he doesn't play around. No, you had your shot. Now it's time to sit there and kick you out because you want to sit here and push buttons and make your way back up without anything.
What does it mean to you to be the RCW World Underground Champion?
It means everything right now. You know, as you know, me and this title are the same age. This is just a little bit older than me, so it's like my twin. You know, it's like a family right here.
What do you consider it as? Do you consider it as a brother? What do you consider it as?
Yeah,
You're
this
both
is like my brother to me. You know, I gotta defend this. I gotta
Does
make
it talk
sure
back
it
to you?
stays
You know,
with the
does it talk
family.
back to you? Does it talk back to you at
Come
night?
on,
Do you have
Tom. I'm
conversations
not
with it?
crazy. I'm not crazy like that, Tom. Come on, what are you trying to do here, huh?
We're live on Sportswire Radio. That's what we're talking about. There's people on this platform that, would actually want to know that question. There's people here that might actually think that maybe
Yeah,
wrestlers
sure,
do talk to
Tom.
them.
Sure.
Yeah? You think so?
Sure it
You
is.
sure you don't?
Sure.
You sure you don't?
No,
talk to-
you're just trying to
you don't
sit
talk
here
to
and
your
make
brother?
fun of me. Hey, listen, I ain't nothing like loose cannon or anything like that. I ain't,
Well, you have a lot of
You ain't
history.
gonna sneak
Do you
nothing
want to
by.
would you like to comment on Loose Cannon? Is there anything you'd like to say on him? I mean, anything that would you like to
Oh,
say
loose
something?
cannon?
You have I would love. I think a lot of people would love to
he
hear
sat
you
there
of
and he
all people.
came to
The man that
IMF
has
and
obviously you put him in the masses. Would you love to say anything to Loose Cannon before I let you go? You're the champion. You know obviously
no,
you.
since we brought him up, I guess. I mean, you want to talk about how he came here to IMF and he sat there and he politicked his way into a bunch of stuff and all that. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that.
Okay,
We're not gonna talk about
No,
Loose
fine.
Cannon.
Good enough. Let me get to a couple of comments before I let you go and bring on other clients from Mr. Diamond. Soldier GP, didn't Felix help you beat Josiah, so you didn't really beat him? It's a good point. It's a good point.
Oh, what do you mean?
What match was he watching?
Hey,
Well, you know what? I mean,
just
I'm gonna let.
just because Felix came in and did some stuff because Josiah did some stuff. Well, actually, no, they just had beef. They don't like each other backstage and all. Just because
Well,
that
I
happened
would know
doesn't mean
nothing
that I
about the
didn't win.
backstage
I still got the
politics.
1, 2, 3.
Well, to be fair, in the record books, it doesn't matter how you did it. You got it. You got that 1, 2, 3.
It's a W. That's a W.
Win's a win. I agree with you on that. Mr. Omen Black, the boogeyman of the Midwest, it is his show after all. Freddie, I made you great. You're welcome. House of Wolves made you just remember that. You're in the Hall of Fame because of the House of Wolves.
Omen, you didn't make me. Just because I'm in the Hall of Fame because of the House of Wolves, one of the greatest factions in IMF, doesn't mean anything. Okay? I am where I am today because I decided to finally pick up and get a title.
And a manager, a good manager, great manager, Freddie.
Come
on, give props where it's due, buddy.
Well, Freddie, obviously, I'm sure that you'll recognize Mr. Diamond and his impact and leadership skills, but that's a different conversation for a different time, champ. I wish you well. Obviously, we'll see what you bring to the table Saturday. Regardless, I think it's going to be a great match, regardless of some of the tricks and everything else in between. I have no doubt that you're going to bring your skills that has made you one of the top up-and-coming wrestling stars in the yard, in the underground, in the indies, and I look forward to watching you in the ring this Saturday. And congratulations on the success and keep up the good work. All right, Mr. Freddie Daniels, we'll see you soon.
Tell the rest of the Diamonds of the Roughs I said hi.
Will do.
Okay. We're going to actually see some more of them coming up here shortly. So I'm actually going to keep you, Mr. Diamond, here because I'm going to bring on here, it looks like 2 other people. In fact, I have one with me on the screen. I'm waiting for somebody else. I have Mr. Mephisto, the IMF United States champion. I think we're supposed to bring on Isaiah Rage here. Mr. Rage would be coming on here shortly. I believe be waiting for him. So I guess we'll wait shortly with that. But Mephisto, you can turn your mic on. You're with us live on the air, and good to be with you. And what would you like to say to the audience here coming up today?
Well, hello there to the galaxies out there, to the world out there. It's good to be back. Gracing your video.
Love the purple. Purple fits you well.
Thank you, brother. It's like it matches like the galaxy look on your face when we watch these. It brightens you right up.
Well, you always brighten our days alongside Mr. Ace Diamond. So tell us what's going to happen here coming up this Saturday.
Well, apparently, brother, there's this cage apparatus they're going to put around the ring. I'm still trying to figure out the rules because I'm new to this whole thing.
It's a cage, yes. You're going to be in a cage wrestling. And
so apparently, brother, they're not. My opponents can't get away from me, so I'm enjoying that, brother. That means I don't got to run around and get them. I can just get my hands right on, brother.
Would you be concerned that they could do the same thing to you, though? Considering your opponents, they could have an advantage in this scenario. Are you concerned about that anyway?
Brother, one of my opponents is as ancient as time itself. I ain't got to worry about that.
He's so ancient, one of your opponents, that even some guy, Loose Cannon, once upon a time, was friends and aligned with him. I mean, boy, that's a scary thought. Those 2 individuals in the same sentence, almost kind of like a $2 stake. But Ace Diamond, I mean, this is a rather intriguing matchup. One of the opponents, yes, might be an ancient relic, but one of the other opponents is rather a man that, well, isn't his last name Rage? And I wouldn't want to be anywhere near his Rage in the cage this Saturday.
Well, here's the thing about that, Tom, is Isaiah Rage is a diamond.
Yes,
Mephisto is a diamond.
Correct.
Remington is a dinosaur. So
I think we all agree about that. That was a good one. I'll give you that. That was a good one. I think most people would agree with that.
So I got 2/3 chance of one of my guys walking away as champion. I ain't going to do any more math than that because it's going to get confusing, but pretty sure 2 of the 3.
We don't want Steiner math on sports.
No. Ace Diamond geometry or something. Like, oh, no, I'm good on that.
I give you that, but Mephisto's here, and he's the one in front of you. And what happens, though, if Mephisto's one of the thirds that doesn't win that championship, and it's, let's say, Mr. Rage that wins it, though?
I mean, I think we all know that it's a bigger picture thing. It's like we're all diamonds in the rough. We're a big family. What's mine is theirs. What's theirs is mine. It's all these belts. Yeah, it belongs to one person. The name appears as one person on the history, but what's the common denominator? Ace Diamond. So as long as my name is still appearing next to the wrestler that holds the belt, that's all that matters.
But speaking of people that are
you're right.
the other component to the match that is not in the diamonds is none other than Mr. Remington Stryker, who's had quite a history here. And no, he's not going to explain his ties once upon a time to Loose Cannon. He's going to talk about his ties that could potentially lead him back to championship gold and to the promised land and maybe have more gold these days than, let's say, Taylor and Travis. And Mr. Stryker, good to be with you. And you're about to also have some company because the other component to the Diamond makes his debut is Sportzwire Radio. A world-traveled man, a well-decorated man, a man that has thousands of followers on social media, a man that has left his presence and a lasting impact at the last IMF show. We were talking about Isaiah Rage and Mr. Rage. Good evening, and Mr. Stryker, I certainly wouldn't want to be you to be the odd man out in this, but gentlemen, what's going to happen this Saturday?
The odd man out? It's going to be great being the odd man out.
The old man out.
Old man out? You know what? That's fucking fair. That's fucking fair, Mephisto, but you know what?
Something. Hold on. You got to realize something. You're going to be in a cage.
I don't even know who you are.
With two diamonds, you're going to find out who I am Saturday. You're going to find out who I am Saturday, old man. Old man.
I'm talking to Mephisto right now.
Oh, fair enough. Fair play.
Mr. Rage, sorry for the little bit of disrespect, but sorry, I'm talking to Mephisto right now. Our paths crossed briefly, and you got the better of me. But just know that I was the second ever United States champion. And I will come for my original baby one more time.
Keyword, brother, was one. Like, you was young.
See, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing with you fucking whippersnappers. You want to call me old? I'm going to use some old man terms. So get your dictionary out, get your Google out so you can understand these fucking terms. This old boy is going to take back what was once his. And Mr. Isaiah Rage, I'm sorry that you got to get in the way of all this. Like, by the way, nice to meet you finally. Don't even know who the fuck you are, don't care. I am coming for Mephisto. Your best bet is to fucking just sit in the corner and let us go. Because this motherfucker thinks that he can throw me around just because he's mad. Look, if I gotta pull out my AARP card, I'm gonna pull out my AARP card. All right? Look, no. That's Remington Stryker's ring. You haven't been in my ring. That is Remington Stryker's ring. That has my blood, my sweat, and my tears on that ring. That is my ring.
Because now I'm going to take the floor over because I want to hear from Mr. Rage because this is his proper debut on Sportzwire Radio, and I want him to tell us why he's going to win the United States Championship away from Mephisto and certainly deal with what Mr. Stryker just said. Take it away, Mr. Rage.
Well, I'm trying to say something, but you kept on yapping. But anyway, I made my debut at the last IMF show. This was my first cage match, and a cage match is always something I wanted to be in. It's my own haven. It's called Rage in a Cage for a reason. My last
Named
name is
after you.
Rage.
Yeah, named
But what
after
he
you, I
has to
hear.
understand, what he needs to understand is he's going to be in the fucking ring with 2 diamonds. So nothing is going to be in his favor. We're going to sweep the floor with him, get him the hell out the way. And then Mephisto, brother is going to be me and you. After he's done and swept to the side, it's going to be me and you, 2 diamonds, one-on-one.
We're gonna be duo champs, brother. I know. We're gonna pin them together, and we're gonna be duo champs.
Hell yeah, diamonds. We'll do that.
Wait, did I just hear that?
You guys are fucking idiots.
Well, you know, it's funny. Mr. Stryker, I think you and I have the same question here. Is it possible that you guys could have half the championship? Is there such a thing as a dual champion? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it don't make sense, brother, that my own teammate could actually take my title from me. So the only thing in my mind that would make sense is if we split it down the middle here.
I would have to say that's up to management, right? I mean, Mr. Diamond's going like this for me. I mean, is this possible?
Ames, get on it, brother.
Wow.
We just gotta keep Stryker from getting it, right? That's all that matters, brother. And then we can
that is all that
I thought I've seen it all this week on Sportzwire. I had one guy that was on the toilet when he came on here. I had another guy not explain how he. Yeah, I had a guy that came on here Sunday. Literally, he was on the toilet. I had one guy basically forget why he hit his opponent with a baseball bat. I had another guy that calls himself a sober wolf. I had one guy apologize for another promotion on the air. I had obviously another guy that basically traveled from one state to another state to wrestle in a match. And now I just heard that you can actually be dual champion. I'm really at a loss of words here today. I don't.
Well, first off, look, it was a joke. It was a joke. But one-on-one, after we take Stryker out of the equation, there'll be 2 diamonds, 1-on-1, neck to neck. May the best man win. That's all I can say on that.
May the best man win.
But Stryker, listen, Stryker, it's nice to meet you. I don't know you. I don't give a fuck either. But I will say this: you're in my damn way.
The feeling is fucking mutual. All right, the feeling is mutual.
I don't like when people get in my way.
I know you're closing, but I'm on a
You're about to
podcast.
feel the
Give me like
rage.
30
That's all I
seconds.
can say.
Hey, Tom Bryce, have you ever had somebody on your podcast that's getting kicked out of the bar? Because now you are. But anyways, I'm gonna close with this. I am happy right now.
All right, Mr. Stryker, I think I've heard enough. I've heard enough, Mr. Stryker. Now I'm going to give you the boot because you know what? Mr. Stryker, you were talking over Mr. Rage. You were going on and on and on and on. And yeah, you might be as a relic as, let's say, the Kansas City Chiefs' first Super Bowl appearance. But now it's too much for the platform. I appreciate you. Maybe you can take advice from Bruce Cannon how to come on Sportzwire Radio. But at the end of the day, you might be joining Bruce Cannon on the unemployment line, at least on this platform with the IMF. So do yourself a favor. Leave the bar. Don't take up the home ones. Get ready for the Chiefs. Football season will start in September. Maybe by then you might be able to take the kickoff because right now you're being kicked from Sportzwire Radio. And if you're going the way you're going, and I'm not going to just speak for anybody else, but I'm going to do it anyway. You might even get kicked off Saturday. So I mean, you get what you wish for, Mr. Diamond. You're going to get ready for the Stryker. The only person he's going to strike is anybody that throws him out of that bar, wherever he might be. And the only person
You might not make it to the match.
The only person he might even be throwing strikes at is Loose Cannon. Maybe those guys can compare their wrestling skills. And maybe then he and Loose Cannon can go out there and compare their record in IMF. But you know what? The way that Mr. Stryker, and I let Mr. Stryker, and I apologize, Mr. Rage, for that. I'm going to give you the floor in a couple minutes because you deserve that. You don't deserve what happened here because Mr. Stryker is doing my best. I'm not just the one I really have to do this. This is really unfortunate because we had somebody on the show who came on who kept talking over and over his opponent, who was belittling, who kept using profanity after profanity. This is the example of an utter abomination. This is somebody that he has no business in being anywhere near a platform, anywhere near a ring, and he can go join him. And you know where he can join again? Because in terms of Arizona Coyotes in the NHL, they're deactivated. Remington Stryker is going to be deactivated from Sportswire Radio, and Remington Stryker, if the way he's going, probably going to be deactivated from the IMF. So the only thing he's going to be talking about is Kansas City Chiefs memories. Maybe when he's not drunk anymore, maybe when he's sober, he can maybe think about those photos of Taylor and Travis scene, and maybe he can look at some photos next time one of the Chiefs players like Patrick Mahomes was on Raw last week. Maybe then that'll be the closest he's near a wrestling ring and the closest he'll be anywhere near a championship belt. Because I guarantee you, with those actions and those performances, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that guy in a ring. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that guy on the platform. And at the end of the day, he's deactivated, and I wish him nothing but the best in his future endeavors. And I'm sure he can basically maybe go and call Loose Cannon on FaceTime now and maybe compare of their previous appearances, not only on this platform, but also when it comes to IMF. Mr. Williams, I want to give you the floor, and I apologize to you, sir. I'm going to give you the time to make it.
I appreciate you, Tom. I really appreciate that. But no, I was trying to say when I was brutally interrupted, ever since I was a kid, I've always dreamt about being in a cage. And this will be my first time ever entering a cage, even though it's against my own brother and this other person. I will not do anything that anybody else won't do to try to get that championship on my waist. I love you, Mephisto. I do as a brother. But that gold is what it's all about, man. We got to put it all on the line, man. Diamonds or no diamonds. It's just business. It's nothing personal. Just like I know you'd say the same thing for you. You know what I'm saying? But this has always been my dream, man. And I fought hard to always wanted to be in a cage. And I got to make my mark. You know what I'm saying? I'm hungry for it. I'm really hungry for it.
What would it mean to you to be the United States champion of the IMF?
What do it mean to me? It means that I earned it. It means that I literally showed that I have what it takes to hold a title on my waist. Even though I just made my debut last month, opened up pretty much a lot of people's eyes so they realize who the hell I am. You know, I've been doing this for quite some time now, a couple of years. You know, I've been pro, and I've held titles down the road. But being in IMF, this is my home. This is the place where I feel comfortable. You know, I made a brotherhood with a lot of these people here. So being a champion means I'm a leader. And I will lead. And anybody that decides to follow me will not be disappointed.
What do you want to say to the people that are hearing you the first time on this platform? You've obviously been a decorated wrestler. You have a massive following out there. You've traveled up and down the Midwest and elsewhere. You've done a lot in this sport, but people are only hearing you the first time. And I want to say again, I apologize to what we had to witness and that utter abomination of that piece of garbage what was on this platform, who is deactivated permanently off this platform. And if he comes back on this platform, I will kick him longer than any of the Kansas City Chiefs field goal this past season. And I will not tolerate anybody that comes on this platform to hijack it and overtalk two other people in the ring. As a matter of fact, three people here, because these guys put their blood, sweat, and tears in this. These guys busted their butts to be here. This guy, Isaiah Ridge, I was looking all forward all day to speak to this man. I had a chance to hear him on the podcast that the IMF boys did, and that man wasted my time. He wasted the people's time. And don't ever come back on this platform. Go join the unemployment line. Go compare with Loose Cannon, basically your most recent appearances. Hopefully you don't come back. Don't let the door. You know, as a matter of fact, I hope that whoever is in that bar throws you out with the garbage, which you are, because you are absolutely a disgrace. You just are anybody. You should never be in a ring. You're unsafe to talk with a microphone. God help you within a ring. I mean, as a matter of fact, maybe you should let him show up in the ring. You let him get an ass kicking from people that could actually go out there in the ring. Because maybe a guy like that, some old dinosaur, some nobody jack-off who tried to come on here and had no business doing what he did. You know what? Maybe you should let him go be booked in the match and just let him get his receipt. Because I can tell you, if I was in the ring with that guy, I would give him a receipt that I'm sure that he'll be paying for probably until his Social Security payments are long and gone and past his expiration date. Take it away, fellas.
For the ones that just now met me, now see me on this live, if you want to see me in action, May 11th, this Saturday, Rage in the Cage, I will be in action. As you know, triple threat, Remington Striker, Mephisto, me, Isaiah Rage, for United States Championship. Make sure you guys come out. That's all I got to say on that note.
And Mr. Rage, I want to say one more time, I will give you a receipt back and I will make it up to you. And I will bring you back on this platform in the next week or two. And I want to give you the opportunity to speak to the audience. If I hope that you will accept. And I want to apologize to all the people out there that had to witness that utter abomination of a man that not only is intellectually dishonest, he's an embarrassment to his family, he's an embarrassment to his friends, and he's an embarrassment to anybody that's a colleague of his. And I hope that individual gets his receipt, whether it's by the bouncer at that bar or if he actually shows up in the ring this Saturday. And like I said, he will get his. And all I'm going to say is karma comes back. And just let me tell you something. You were deactivated from this platform. That's all I'm going to say. I will not tolerate that. I will listen. I've had to tolerate enough this week. I had to tolerate one guy, Tyler Ark, some POS, that SOB that couldn't look me in the eyes when I was trying to give him a pep talk, a man-to-man talk. I had to tolerate a guy that was on a number 2 when he was on this platform. I had to tolerate a guy that calls himself a sober wolf that told me that, yeah, we know how to train. Yeah, we're trained wrestlers. I had to tolerate that injustice. I had to tolerate a guy, Skulls, that's telling me about what his wrestling abilities are. I am sick and tired of hearing from people that continually want to lecture and say this, or that. And that guy, again, he can go join Loose Cannon. He can be aligned. They can be attached to the hip permanently from not coming back on this platform. Mephisto, I want to give you words. Anything else you want to say before Saturday? Take it away before I go to Mr. Diamond.
Well, Isaiah, I just want to say it's been a breath of fresh air having someone with biceps as wonderful as mine, brother. And I can't wait till we can lock them together on Saturday, brother, because I'm with you, brother. We'll throw the old man out. That's you and me. But I got one disappointing fact for you, brother. You may be my brother in the diamond, brother, but you just got here. And I've been working really hard climbing this ladder, getting this championship from the one it's a Chia, brother. And that took me a long time to do it. So I ain't just going to roll over and let no offense, the new guy, just step up and take it from me, brother. So you might get the hardest fought match out of Mephisto yet. We'll see if you have what it takes, brother. If you can survive the tour.
I just want to know, Mephisto, do you wear the glasses even when you're inside?
Brother, I wear my glasses anytime I need to. Yeah, they just add to the flavor.
You know, maybe the good thing is you had the glasses on. You didn't have to see that utter abomination, that other excuse of a human being. Maybe.
And to be honest, brother, it distracts from the hairline that's rapidly disappearing.
You still got more hair than the guy that came on before you, so still you're doing
and more
better.
teeth.
You a lot more teeth, and you still came in on top. Mr. Diamond, I'm going to let you hang out here in a second because I got somebody else from your stable that's coming in with us. And Mr. Rage and Mephisto, I am looking forward to the match Saturday, and part of me wants to see your opponent come in so he can get his receipt and some. And Mr. Rage, I would like to talk to you after the show is done, and I'd like to have you come on my platform and give you the opportunity to share your story and more. I look forward to doing that. And thank you, gentlemen. I'm looking forward to the match, and we'll see what happens. All right, that was Isaiah Rage, Mephisto. They're going to be squaring off in a match for that United States Championship, and there was an individual that shall be named, and he's definitely going to get struck anywhere he steps foot in the ring, and thank you for that. I'm going to let you leave, Mr. Rage, and I'm going to bring on, I think I lost, yep, hang on tight. I got this, and I got, it looks like, yeah, you may have the championship, but I have your opponent here, who is the real IMF World Champion. And Mr. Diamond, you get to be here for the 4th time. And boy, this is a match I've been waiting for a while. And Prince, good to be with you here on the platform. It's been a while. And Soldier, a lot I'm sure you're going to say. But those that are listening and watching, Prince, talk about how you may be the future champion, but you're going to keep possession of that championship this Saturday at Rage in the Cage.
Why not? Why not? I did what I needed to do to make sure I had this match. Why not? I made sure I let Soldier know back in December. This is what I was coming for. by any means necessary. This is what I was coming for. I'm getting what I want on my terms. My terms.
Okay. Your terms. All right, fair play. Soldier, I am sure a lot to digest there. We saw what happened at the end of the last show, and you are the current champion, but don't hold possession of the championship. But I'm sure you have a lot of motivation because now you get this man in a cage, and I have no doubt that you're going to certainly do everything in your power to reclaim full possession of the championship you haven't lost.
In the words of Tommaso Ciampa, I'm coming for Goldie. And this Saturday, I'm going to beat the hell out of you and take it back.
The feeling's mutual. The feeling's 100% mutual.
You jumped me. Ooh, you caught me off guard. You jumped me. That's cool. You jumped me. You stole the belt.
Thought it was a smart idea. Smart idea.
You're hiding.
I'm easy to find, Soldier. If you wanted to find me, you could have been found me.
Are you?
I wasn't hiding.
Are you?
He's right there.
I wasn't hiding. You know what? You know where I was? I was out having a ball. You know what? Taking this around the city, showing the nice ladies out there what a good time it looks like to be with a real man and a real champion. That's what I was doing. I wasn't hiding. I was out here.
So what you're saying is you've been catfishing women, pretending to be the world champion.
He's got jokes, right?
He owns the belt.
No, it's not a joke.
You know, possession is 9/10 of the law.
You took
9/10.
Okay.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Prince.
So currently,
you see what did you see what you've done, right?
No, what I've done is I've secured
You're going to
my
be
spot.
locked in a cage.
I could care less about being locked in a cage.
No other diamonds in the rough are going to be out there. They're not going to be able to get involved. You're locked in a cage with me, and you're not going to be able to cheap shot me.
Mr. Diamond, I want to go to you, Mr. Diamond, because you're the eye of professional wrestling. Obviously, this is your client. You've had some history with Mr. Soldier. Soldier makes some very good points. These two men are locked in a cage without telling us anything. Do you have some type of plan or some type of way that you're going to allow your client to keep that championship, quote unquote, and be the future IMF heavyweight champion of the world?
Well, you said I have history with Soulja, and I do actually. I heard me and Soulja actually had a match on a pre-show a couple months ago, and I kicked out of his stunner. So, I mean, if Ace Diamond, the manager, can survive that, tell me the guy that's holding the belt right now, it might not be on paper, but it's over his shoulder. He's got it. He can do it too. He's gonna, I survived. I don't remember how it ended. I mean, I kicked out and then everything else kind of blurry, but I mean, I'm still here.
So
I'm fine.
You're giving him that insightful memory that you had and giving him that advice that, hey, if I could withstand Soldier GP, who's arguably got the best stunner in this sport right now. Yes, James Taylor, Soldier GP's got the active best stunner in this sport right now. If you have been able to kick out of that, a man like the Prince, from what you're telling me, even though the champion's right here, from what you're telling me, that Prince should have no problem keeping claim of that championship and being the official champion Saturday. Is that correct?
Tom, you keep saying the champion's right there. The champion is right here. Okay?
In the record books, though, they don't have you as the champion, though.
Listen. Saturday night, I'm walking in champion, and I'm walking out champion. Done deal. Soldier, look, I could care less if I'm in a cage with you. I could care less if I was in a back alley. You see what we did to you in a parking lot. I could care less where we were at. A cage matters none.
Okay, but the key words is you seen what we did to me, right? There is no we inside that cage, princess. It's me and you.
That was real cute, princess. Like, I haven't heard that before.
Disrespectful, really.
I mean, Just a little bit. Doesn't sting, but hey.
All right, let me give you guys both the opportunity, since this is a championship match, let me give you guys both, in the interest of time, the opportunity to ask one another a question. I'm going to go with you, Prince, first. Obviously, you have possession of the championship, and you would like to keep claim of the possession of the championship after this Saturday. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask Soldier GP one question first before he goes and asks you one question before this Saturday.
What makes you think you can?
Because I'm Soldier GP. That's why.
Okay. And conversely, Soldier, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask Prince one question before this Saturday.
What makes you think you're the man that can take that belt from me? And please hit me with something that nobody else has said. Hit me with something that nobody else has said.
I put on my pants just like you, 2 legs at a time. Only difference is my pants cost about $500. I show up in suits. I show up in leisure suits, nice dress shoes, and nice shirts and pants. That's why. I'm the man. I know the day I wake up out of the bed, the moment I wake up out of bed, the moment I brush my teeth, I eat my breakfast, I go to work my little 9 to 5. I come home, I parlay and politic with people and have fun with nice little ladies or whatever. I know I'm the man. I wake up the man. You know that. You know I'm the man. That's why it took you so long to give me a title shot, right? That's why it took you so long to give me a title shot, right?
Actually,
You know I'm the man.
Okay. I remember, hold on, in my first title reign.
Yeah, last year.
What was my match at Highway to Hell supposed to be? What was my match at Highway Hell supposed to be? Who didn't show up? Prince.
Undisclosed
You're lucky.
injury.
I'm giving you a shot. You're lucky.
I'm lucky.
You're lucky I gave you a
You
shot.
literally just screwed me out of the
I gave
Rumble.
you a shot before and you flaked.
You screwed me out of the Rumble.
You tried to screw me out of the title earlier that night.
I was helping you out. Something got
You were
something got
hitting me in the back with the steel chair. Hitting me in the back
got
with the steel chair.
Boy, ladies and gentlemen, I think what we're hearing right now is that this Saturday, Rage in the Cage, all the talking, all the he said, all the what could have been, what could not have been, is going to all come to fruition this Saturday in a steel cage for that IMF heavyweight championship, one of the biggest prizes in this sport, if not the biggest prize in the underground currently, or in the independence as we know it. And it's all going to come to a head between these two men. You can see the animosity. You can see that these two men, it's all about what could have been, what should have been, but it's all forgotten. Because this Saturday, in a match that a lot of people have been waiting for a long time, Soldier GP, the current champion and the man that holds possession of the championship here, is going to be able to show, can he keep the championship and show what he would do differently? And Ace Diamond, before I get to final thoughts from each of you guys, is there anything else that you want to say in regards to that? You're a busy man this week, and you got championship after championship, and what would you like to say for your words? Prince, I'll come to you with that, Prince.
Hold on. Soldier, you don't deserve to be champion, and I'd rather see anybody but you.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Well, Tom,
Prince, as soon as that cage door slams shut and you hear it click, that's the moment you're gonna realize you fucked up.
You want to say something, Ace? God, I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, I do got one final thought. It's Soldier's been the man. I gotta admit, he's been the champion. You know, I can't bash that. You know, he's held the belt for a reason. You know, the foundation's been one of the top things going for IMF, but Ace Diamond and my diamonds in the rough, we're all rising. We're the foundation might be the now, we're the future, and the future is a lot closer than a lot of people think. And I believe in each and every one of my diamonds. Doesn't matter which matches, the opener, the main event. It doesn't matter where they are on the card. My diamonds are going to be making a difference. They're going to be making names for themselves, making names for Ace. And whether it's Soulja, King Josiah, anybody else, Remington, whoever, just look out. Watch out for the diamonds.
I don't think you have to worry about Remington. But what I will say is that maybe the future is going to come to reality this Saturday from what you are telling me with your roster in your group. We'll have to find out. Prince, do you have any final words before this Saturday?
Said everything I needed to say. Like I said, Soulja, you don't deserve to be champion. I'd rather see anybody else in this company hold this belt but you. You might as well go on the line and say, I hate you. I don't like you. So yes, it will be a brawl in that cage. It will be rage in that cage. I will whip your ass in and out of that cage. And I will walk out IMF champion. Simple as that.
All right, good deal. Prince, I'm looking forward to what you bring to the table, and we'll see if it comes to fruition on Saturday. And Soulja, I'm giving you the floor before I let you all gentlemen leave. And anything else that you'd like to say before this Saturday for your final words?
See you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll see you soon.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be one for the ages. And Diamond, I can certainly see why you.
Not if I see you first.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not yet gotten a chance to go to the IMF social media pages, Facebook, Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling, to go buy a ticket. I'm buying a ticket for somebody out there. So if you've heard this tonight, you have heard all the talk. You have heard all the wrestlers, and we're still not done yet. This is why you need to go out there and get a ticket. There's still a few left. I am providing one ticket for somebody out there. So if you're out there, you want to go to the show, get in touch with management, get in touch with the company, support them on YouTube. I've been putting the YouTube link up throughout the show. Instagram, support them. This is where all wrestling really matters. What a card they've got. And that prize is arguably the biggest prize in this sport right now. He's holding it. We'll see if he continues to hold it. He's the official champion. We'll see if it all comes to a head. I have no doubt it will this Saturday. Ace, I'm going to see you here. And Prince, good luck. And Soulja, good luck. And I'm going to let you move and you move. And wait a minute, Soulja. I think there's somebody here that is addressing you, and I think I know. Wait a minute. Do I know you? Are you allowed to be here? Do you have permission from the company in Shelbyville, Indiana? I thought he only allows people that in his promotion to come on here. I think this is
Yeah. Did you get Fletcher's permission to be here?
First real wrestler, Justin Parsley. Justin Parsley, are you allowed to be here? Will you be fired? No, really. Will you be fired from XCW if you're here? Because one guy already was drunk on this platform, and I think he's gotten fired. I wouldn't want you to get fired from your shoot real boss in Shelbyville, Indiana. What brings you here, Justin Parsley?
Tune in next week to find out. All right, Soulja. I was thinking. I was sitting back and I was doing some thinking. And
What do
this
you want,
microphone,
sleaze?
this microphone agreement that we have, it's just,
really?
it's not enough for me, right? Like I don't. We all know that I can do the talking. I do it on Sportswire. I do it in a ring. I do it backstage. I do it here, there, everywhere. I'm like Sam I Am.
Yeah, that's all you do is talk.
I haven't heard that
talk,
one in a
talk,
while, but I'm going to give you that.
talk.
Go ahead. You got the floor. Go ahead.
But watching some of the IMF footage, I don't know if my voice would carry the way I want it to and project to our viewing audience. Maybe the audience in attendance would appreciate it, but I want everyone to be able to appreciate it. So the art that I want to lay down, what I want to do, Soulja, is I want to show up and with that #1 contendership spot that I earned by defeating you and Omen episode of 11.
That's right. I
Encounter.
forgot about that in Encounters a couple months ago. That's a good point.
That did happen, yeah. And
forgot
that
about
earned me that
Yeah.
title shot. I think that I would like to put that title shot on the line. I've never had a cage match before, and I think that I would like to make an open challenge to any deserving or self-proclaimed deserving contender who wants to step up and take a shot at the sleaze.
Ooh.
What do you think about that? You want to let me use your ring for that?
That's real nice of you. That's real nice of you. Nice.
Real. That's real words there, I think. It's a real challenge, you think? But really might happen this Saturday if you think it really could.
It would be a real treat.
Okay.
Was this real?
Okay. You can have a match. We'll give it to you.
All right. Well, then, good luck in your championship
Anybody
match.
can accept this.
Okay.
Anybody can accept this. But remember,
anybody.
The consequences on you. Because if you lose, you're no longer IMF #1 contender.
And if you lose and I win, it won't be Soldier GP versus JP come June 8th. The Prince will be
I'm not worried about my match.
unthrown, and a king
I'm not worried about my match. But you
will sit atop of IMF.
You should be worried. You should
It'll
be worried.
a PA system like that with the JP, who's after all the first real wrestler. Maybe that real could come to fruition on June the 8th. If that's the case, but Justin Parsley, you're going to have to get through your match now this Saturday against whoever it will be that gets decided. And yes, this is real. A man that works in another state, another promotion.
You know what's funny?
Lots of things, but
Hold
go on.
Hold on. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Parsley is you want to sit here. Oh, you're going to be a nice guy and give somebody a shot at your #1 contendership. But we all know deep down you're only doing this because you want to stay relevant, and IMF is more relevant than you are.
You know, I mean, some would say that the viewership in Indiana.
You're not the nice guy.
Nowhere near the same as Iowa.
Nice guy that you're not the nice guy like you're trying to portray. I know you're selfish. Look, you want to be in the Hall of Fame 17 times. So
I will be in the Hall of Fame 17
from
times.
17 words, you want to take a spot from 17 other worthy people.
Worthy?
Selfish.
I've heard Tom Bryce say there are people that aren't even deserving to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, we
Those
do
could
have a
been my
few.
spots.
See, we
You
do have
wanna
a few.
come down.
Admittedly,
You want to come
Keith
down. See, it all
those
started
guys
with
are
the
also
microphone.
worthy.
It all started with the microphone. And now it's I want to take somebody's spot on the card. Selfishness.
I think this is a very generous
to expose. I am
offering.
going to expose. I'm going to expose and show the world the real Justin Parsley that you let out just a little bit when you beat up that little kid, the Christian kid, with that belt. So come on, yeah, I'll see you. I'll see you Saturday. I'll let your selfish ass take somebody else's spot on the card, and then you can show the world who the real Justin Parsley is.
See, I've repented for those actions, but what I do to my opponent on Saturday, I will never ask forgiveness for.
Ooh, something tells me here that the water is definitely different in Iowa. The water is different.
The real Parsley. Hi, how you doing, buddy?
Well, you know, it's going to get real this Saturday, and I can assure you that the water is definitely a lot different in Iowa than in Shelbyville, and I can assure you that the action is going to be like nothing we haven't seen yet.
When we first got on here together, you told me, welcome to the big leagues. Well, this Saturday, we surpassed you. Welcome to the big leagues.
It's like going to network TV all of a sudden. Now you're in prime time on network
television. This is where the big boys play.
And
It's a
Dirty
treat.
wants-
Thank you for having me.
We'll have to find out, Justin Parsley. We'll see if you're on your way to 17 times in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. And I would hope the water, though, and all kidding aside, is not like in Flint, Michigan. Well, we're going to find out this Saturday. I'll tell you what, gentlemen, I thank you. I'm looking forward to this, and we'll have to see. And this was definitely real, and this is definitely not a figment of my imagination. Justin Parsley and Soldier GP. Justin Parsley, a man that doesn't work here. He works in the state of Indiana, and apparently he doesn't care who he works for. He wants this match. He's going to get it, and I see this. Oh, you and Sean Joby are
the heel one. The heel one.
This was a real one tonight. This was a real one at every step of the way. But guys, I'm going to let you run. Thank you so much. And I am here. Last but not least, it's his show after all. And boy, it looks like we are going to certainly try to top everything off here. I got Damian Saint, the man that has been slaying the hardcore so-called wrestlers, and Omen Black, the boogeyman of the Midwest, the hardcore god himself. And yes, it's Rage in the Cage. It's the main event this Saturday, and you guys are closing out tonight's rather interesting show, putting it nicely. And maybe I should go with you first, Mr. Black, and the floor is yours. It's your show after all. And tell us what you're going to do to Damian Saint that you've been wanting to do for months.
I'm still kind of reliving what happened at King of the Center when this guy right here, who claims to be the champ, who took my title, but he had to have help from his little bitches called Ox McCoy and Yerk the Viking. See, you tried taking me out. You tried putting me on the shelf. But guess what, Damian? I came back the next month, and I laid you out. I laid Yurik out.
Yeah.
And then we met at the Rumble, which we all saw how explosive that was.
We did.
But now, Damian, me and you're going to be locked in a cage together. What happened to Forsaken? I don't care. Tough luck, kid. But now it's my shot. I never got my rematch for my title. And I know what, Damian, I want to say thank you. Thank you for what you did for the title that you brought into the IMF. Because now it's going to be so much better taking it away from you. Someone who's not worthy of it.
Champ, good to be with you. Did he just thank you? And can you tell me why?
I was kind of doing the same thing myself. By the way, can you hear me okay?
I hear you great. Go ahead. Floor is yours, champ.
I jumped in like right at the right time. I saw some dude with a can of beer sitting at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, this has been, this week on this platform. I mean, I just want to apologize to the people that had to sit through that utter disgrace and abomination. I feel like every day I'm on this platform and I have to basically lambaste some knucklehead, nobody that should certainly be as far away from the ring as possible. But let me give you the floor, champ.
You know what? I just want to say this. I hope that scared you, Damian, what you saw at Remington Striker. I hope that scared you, because that's what you're going to be like when I beat you for that title. You're going to be a washed up drunk in a bar getting kicked out because it's closing time. And you can't cut it.
Well, I was actually trying to put two and two together, like you were thanking me for showing up this time. And showing up to an event, putting on a show, making everyone love me over you, the boogeyman of the Midwest. You know what's great is every boogeyman has its own boogeyman in the closet, and I keep telling you this every single week. Every single
figure in the closet. Not surprised.
Skeletons in the closet for you, dipstick. Okay, number one. Number two, what I was trying to get at here was I'm carrying your company as the hardcore champion. I don't even have to be the heavyweight champion at this point. The number one prize in all of wrestling right now, apparently, is on the hands and in the shoulders of Soldier GP. Well, technically not right now. Prince has that.
That was an interesting conversation in itself.
Whatever. But hey, man, I just want to say thank you back for letting me enjoy this ride and just glide down this glorious path that I've been taking down IMF. It's the best days of my life. I've been champion, undefeated. No one's been able to touch me, dude. I've held this ever since I walked through the door. Ever since I walked through the door. I might have got beat at Winter Clash, but, it dawned on me that really it wasn't really all that fair, if that makes any sort of sense to your teeny-weeny little brain.
Fair. This guy wants to talk about fair? The only way you beat me is because you had hellhounds behind your back.
It was a perfect plan all along, though. I mean, you gotta let me have it. I mean, you've seen it. You've actually repeated that puzzle yourself. So would you be calling yourself a hypocrite at this point? You've had to have people have your back. I've watched things, a few episodes here and there, studied up on you, and one thing I know is that no one can, step toe to toe with Omen Black. But I'm undefeated against Omen Black.
It's funny you said that as we're speaking here with Omen Black and Damian Saint as they're getting ready to compete in the main event at IMF's Rage in the Cage this Saturday. You can certainly see more information on the IMF's Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram pages for more. And if you'd like to go to the show, I am actually allowing somebody to go to the show. So if you'd like to go out there and watch the guys, especially Damian and Omen, please do so. Rage in the Cage is going to be a fantastic show. We've heard from so many people on the card. But, Damian, I think what you're telling me is kind of in the same way what Prince was telling us tonight, that in many ways he's got possession of the IMF World Championship. Kind of in a way, maybe I should be saying that you're in possession of being the hardcore god right now, because after all, if you've slayed Omen Black in the ring, you've been undefeated as the hardcore champion currently in the IMF. Maybe I should really be saying that you're the hardcore god right now. Maybe you're the true hardcore god right now. Is that a fair statement for me to make?
The chosen one, I guess, would be the best way to put it, and no pun intended with the shirt. But what's great is when you try to create and actually put these pictures together and use your vision to convey your message and show people what you're made of. And one thing I know for certain, I'm a huge Yankees fan. Okay,
I can see that.
Right? Huge baseball guy, love Star Wars, and if you know what I'm getting at here, is that I'm trying to create an empire. And this empire just so happens to be on my crossroads of me being an IMF, and you met me at the wrong point of the path. And that's where I end up being at the top of the mountain with the hardcore title and the heavyweight title. Not saying I'm calling my shot or anything at Soldier GP or Prince, whoever wins that match, or, this open challenge by Mr. Parsley.
Yeah, that was real. A guy who works in another state, another promotion, I guess, came on and called his own
He
shot.
should come to Iowa.
Well, he called his own shot. Well, he did. Who knows? I guess
he did. Seems like a great guy. Okay.
He's a 2-time Hall of Famer, so I can't really say anything negative.
So trying to create an empire. And, Omen, I almost thought about this the other day. And I really am not trying to play mind games, but why do you stoop yourself to the level that everyone else is at in this promotion? Why do you stoop yourself to the level of everyone below you? And I say beneath you, because honestly, in my opinion, I think if we joined forces and we, maybe played the game a little bit. See, I see you as a force, and I don't mean to maybe recruit you here or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get at, hey, I think you're above these guys, and you keep lowering yourself. And I hate to say it, the title shots are going to stop at some point. Every time you lose, it's just another tally mark on the whiteboard, dude. And when it comes to 6, probably when it's going to end, because Satan's coming your way. And that's who's going to be the emperor of this empire, IMF, is me, Satan. I'm not the god of hardcore. I am quite literally the Hades, the Satan, the evil underworld of hardcore at this very moment.
Speaking of all those words and everything else in between, Omen, I almost have to ask you this question. Is Damian Saint your kryptonite?
Tom, this schmuck, this guy who wants to say he's the indie darling, he's no kryptonite to me. He's got fluke wins. You know what? I'm glad this guy finally gets some wins somewhere, because anywhere else, how's that looking like, Damian?
Yeah, you know what? You might be right. But
you know what? I want to talk about your offer. You're basically kind of offering me to, I guess, lead the foundation. You want to get inside my head, want me to lead the foundation because I'm above everyone else. You know what? That's the smartest thing you said, Damian. But here's the thing. I'm not above my brothers in the foundation. I'm above Uric, Ox, all the Ace Diamonds. And I'm especially above you. Because I didn't come to your company to wrestle. No. You came to my company to wrestle, to taste what it means to be a champion. Whichever way you made it, hey, I applaud you. Like you said, I took some similar tactics in the past. But Damian, I'm not going to be locked in a cage with you or the Hellhounds. You're going to be locked in the cage with me. Damian, that belt is coming with me. No matter how many times I had to fucking be in the ring with you, I'm going to take that belt one way or a fucking another.
All right, let me give you, Mr. Saint, the opportunity then to ask Omen Black a particular question of your choosing, anything you want to say, and ask him ahead of this Saturday.
So the reason why I asked you the question of joining forces, and once again, that's not necessarily the invitation. It actually leads to this question of, do you believe in the saying that you keep your enemies closer? Like, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer, right? You've heard that, right? Because, like you stated, I'm your kryptonite. But everyone always has their Joker.
I kind of paraphrased there, but sure.
Okay?
Pretty clever there, I won't lie.
I'm just saying, be careful who you trust, and be careful down the line here, because there are a few things up my sleeve that you have no idea that could come to fruition. You remember, you know Babe Ruth, right? The famous baseball player. Used to play for the Boston Red Sox, and guess what evil empire took him over?
The New York Yankees.
And once again, I'm not trying to say you're at their level or that you are above. And that's where I start to take the pickings that are the best of the best in IMF, and I start turning them to the dark side.
Omen Black, that is a very, very hard way to follow up what I asked him, but I'm specifically, since it's your show, Mr. Black, going to give you the opportunity, though, conversely, before this Saturday, to ask Mr. Saint one question of your choice.
We've been through this many of times, Tom, with me and Damien on Sportswire, asking each other one question.
This is the third time. Yep, the third time.
I don't want to ask him any more questions.
No?
I don't. I don't care what this guy has to say. He keeps trying to play these mind games. It's not going to work on me, Damien. It's not. I bleed for the foundation, for my brothers. I am my brother's keepers. Damien, just realize who you have on your side. You have Ox McCoy and Uric. Let's just say Uric was under my sleeve for the longest time because he's so dim-witted and dumb that he'll listen to anyone, especially the likes of you.
But can't you say conversely, Omen, that Damien's the first person here? Sure, we've done this a few times. Sure, you guys have asked each other one question before, but he's the first guy that's kind of taking it to you for a change.
I'm not going to lie, Tom. Not really used to one person always one step ahead of me. I'm usually the one 2 steps ahead of everyone else. Is that his professional training coming to use? Perhaps.
Yes.
But Damien, you already know this. You know it's true down to your core and your heart. I am no one you've ever stepped in the ring with. I will go to any limit just to beat you. That's all I want to do. If it was for the title or non-title, I just want to beat you. I think I owe it to the backyard wrestling community. We get a fucking black guy from guys in Wisconsin who want to fucking hit each other with baseball bats and fucking license plates or give each other concussions because they know what the fuck they're doing. But I owe it to the guys who put in the work in the backyard where guys like you in the pros want to shit on us, look down on us like we're fucking trash. I owe it to those people.
I applaud you for, going out there and sticking your neck out for those that you truly believe in and trust. But once again, I think it's in your best interest. And this isn't me trying to play mind games, Omen. I've told you from day one since I met you. You're a formidable opponent. One-on-one, probably the toughest opponent I've gone against. And don't you think that you're just a little bit above everybody else? And I just want you to think about that all night, Saturday night. I'm above everybody else. And then once you're pinned down to the ground, 1, 2, 3, whatever way that happens, God, you're going to be looking at the ceiling wondering why you didn't think of those things when you first stepped in through the cage door.
Oh, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard a lot tonight. We've heard from a who's who of wrestlers that have talked about what they're going to do to their opponents. We've seen pretty much everything figuratively and literally, but the kitchen sink. What I've learned tonight, though, about our main event between Damian Saint and Omen Black is that the talking is over. Sure, Damian Saint, he's got maybe Omen Black's number. Sure, Omen Black, it is his show after all, the boogeyman of the Midwest, the hardcore god. He might be fighting not just for his brothers in the foundation, but he's fighting for the entire backyard wrestling community, who's taken arguably its worst black guy yet in the past few days due to some knuckleheads and some Johnny-come-latelys who have no business being in a ring. And I'm trying really hard not to laugh there, breaking a little kayfabe there. But the point is that Omen Black is fighting for something bigger than that hardcore championship. Damian Saint is fighting for something more than just proving that hardcore wrestling, and he's just going to do what he said here a few months ago on this platform, was that he was going to go one by one systematically to everybody in the IMF till he took over and finished what he was setting to do, and all of that comes to an end this Saturday at Rage in the Cage, and this is going to be a main event like no other. You've thought main events here at the Palo Community Center were big. You thought you saw things before. Wait until you see what these two men, who are figuratively and literally at the top of their games right now, who are two of the best in this sport it has to offer, and two of the best right now. And also, before we go off the air, I have one more piece of breaking news that has just been given to me, management. Thank you, management, for giving this to me. We have one more piece of information. Breaking news is that JX is going to be defending the Omega Michigan Heavyweight Championship. JX, a man that was just seen on ROEW TV, a man that has been seen in places like XCW. Yes, can we mention that company here? Does Justin Parsley get permission to go over from here to there? And also CBW, he's going to be in action. JX is a formidable opponent. He has been a guy that has gone up and down the scene here in the Midwest. He is going to be in action this Saturday. You've got Nicholas Crenson and Darkfire, rather interesting tag team. You've got Mephisto and Isaiah Rage, Sean Jovi versus Kodak Kid. You've got what we've seen tonight between Soldier GP and Prince of Chia. I mean, you got so much that's in store. All you need to do at this point is go to the IMF social media pages. And if you want to get in touch, there's still a few tickets left. And I am providing one lucky person a ticket to go out there and watch two of the very best in this sport, Damian Saint and Omen Black. The chosen one versus the hardcore god. You're going to find out who comes out on top only to be there and be squared. Oh, by the way, Justin Parsley's calling his own shot, who doesn't even work here, is apparently getting an open challenge. Let's go to closing thoughts here. Omen Black, it's your show, so I'm going with you first. I want to give you the floor. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? We'll see if you're fighting for the entire backyard wrestling community. We're going to see if you're going to prove that you are the hardcore god. It's going to be focusing your sights on the likes of maybe Jimmy Controversy, maybe Hardcore, Obey, Mikey Anarchy, Jake Matthews, Atomic Titan. Nah, not him, not Atomic Titan. He wouldn't want any piece of you two guys. But I want to give you the floor and also mention that you're the DKW heavyweight champion of the world. And anything else you want to plug, share, or say? Omen, the floor is yours.
Like I've said, I'm not fighting for my brothers, not fighting for myself. I'm fighting for the guys who get shit on every time a pro watches the backyard wrestling community or underground. It doesn't matter. I'm fighting for those guys who put in the work, who put in the passion, who put in their blood, sweat, and tears just for guys like this and the Steve and other pros just want to laugh at, shit on, and degrade. I'm doing it for you. And Damian, Rage in the Cage this Saturday, I'm going to show you why that I'm the best and most difficult person you will ever meet in the ring when I take my title back.
Okay, all right. Very to the point words from Omen. We'll see what happens Saturday, champ. I close out with you. I want to give you the floor, and we'll see. I know May the 4th was last week. We'll see if that extra 4th is with you, or force, as you might want to say, will be with you this Saturday. I turn it over to you, my friend. Fire away, and anything else you want to say, go for it.
Obviously, Forsaken's not in the match, so I'll just use the quote of "We shall be forsaken." And just
that was actually it.
I'm just saying, remember all that, and just hold that.
I didn't want to bring it up because I was like, let me just not go there, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hold that close to your heart, man, and just remember that. And you are fighting for those that maybe get shit on and talk shit about.
Except for Wisconsin, they can go fuck themselves. But that's
I think that's going to be beaten by a dead horse on this platform for months. So yeah, go ahead. You both can go for that one.
Yeah. But truthfully, at the end of the day, we're in a cage, and sometimes you just got to get behind and push. And if you're climbing that cage, just don't let me get behind you and push you, because it'll be the end of days for you. And Omen, once again, just watch your back, because come this Saturday, May 11th, Palo Community Event Center, Rage in the Cage for the IMF Hardcore Championship. I will tell you this right now, man. I'm walking out undefeated. And then I'm just going to walk out and be done, because I have nothing else to accomplish other than beating you every single time I walk in the ring at IMF. There's no one else to beat. There's no one else to beat unless someone wants to step up. And once again, yeah, maybe the Hardcore Championship wouldn't be enough, but that heavyweight championship does appeal to me. But all at the same time, once again, I don't think anyone can hold a candle to me right now. And IMF, in hardcore wrestling, any promotion, does not matter where they come from. They could come from overseas, from down south. They can come from up north. They could come from a different planet at this point. But no one is going to be stopping the best in the Midwest. Damian.
Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, something tells me here, unlike Slipknot's famous album, Wait and Bleed and Song, I don't think that we're going to be seeing anybody to wait and bleed, because we're going to go straight right to it here. Coming up this Saturday in the main event, Rage in the Cage, we are going to see Damian Saint, the current IMF Hardcore Champion, go up against Omen Black, the DKW World Heavyweight Champion, in a match that has been months in the making. We'll see if Damian Saint continues his streak. We'll see if Omen Black will do this, not for himself, not for his brothers in the foundation, but for all of those in the yard who have taken a black eye due to certain individuals who have no business being in a ring, and the only people that they should be near is maybe Fisher-Price training wheels people and everything else in between. Stick to the water balloons if you're out there from that particular scene, but it is going to be a show for the ages like no other. This is where you can support the IMF on all of their links below. That championship is one of the prettiest prizes around. I would certainly bet my money that these guys are going to go out there and they're going to certainly do a number of things that I can assure you, you only want to be there and watch it, because it's going to be one for the ages. Go out there and support this card, support these guys. Everybody that's going out there to wrestle, they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears out there, whether they're pros, backyarders, indies, underground, everything else in between. This is a card I am very excited about. I'm very excited to talk about it here for the fallout from it. We're going to do this again, I know, before next month, June the 8th. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. We're looking forward to what you guys are going to do in the rest of the card and the rest of the talent on it. Also, one more time, JX will be putting up his Omega Michigan Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. So thank you to those in management, the IMF, that allowed us to break that. Also, Justin Parsley is a part of the news. But my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of all wrestling, where all wrestling matters, or at least we hope all wrestling matters here on this platform. We were joined to start the show with our GM, Levi McDaniel, who was inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. We then heard from the team of Nicholas Crenton and Darkfire. We then heard from Mephisto with Freddie Daniels. We then heard from Mephisto and Ace Diamond. We heard from King Josiah's opponent, which is Mephisto again. We heard from Isaiah Rage. We heard from some guy that we think might be related to a guy that's probably got thrown out of a bar right now. We heard from Soldier GP and Prince Achia. We then heard from Soldier GP with Justin Parsley. And these two guys here, if there's anybody else I'm missing, I apologize. But until then, go out there and support the IMF and all the great things that they have to offer. Also, Ace Diamond was a part of the show, not once, not twice, not 3, but 4 times. So Ace Diamond, he literally was on the show more than anybody else out there, other than yours truly. So we'll have to see if that helps him and his clients win their championship belts. And obviously, these two guys will be a part of it. But until then, please support the IMF. I'll be back here tomorrow with more coverage around the world in sports and everything else in between. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global relation that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. And please support the IMF. Links below. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to get in touch, there's still a few more tickets. Please go out there. You can go out and support them. And I am giving one lucky person their chance to go to the show if they like to. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you.